Welcome back to another edition of Ball Don't Lie right here on 104.9 The Horn. We got a great show planned for you. Second day of Big 12 Media Days, so we're talking a lot of college football, specifically the Big 12, the last Big 12 Media Days for Texas football. As a matter of fact, that's already done. They've already moved on. Yesterday was the day for Texas. They're talking about the second group of Big 12 teams today, so we'll get into some more discussion about the Big 12. Also, Craig Way, the voice of the Longhorns, got a chance to sit down with Steve Sarkisian, the head coach of Texas football. So we'll replay that interview for you. If you can't hear it all and maybe you're going to miss it, go to hornfm.com. It's all up there for you. Or go to the Horn YouTube page and you can watch Craig Way sit down with Steve Sarkisian, the head coach of Texas football. So we'll hear from Steve Sarkisian. Also, we're going to hear from Quinn Ewers as well. Craig Way sat down with damn near everybody that went up to Big 12 Media Days. So we'll replay those interviews for you and discuss Texas football and the state of the program going into the 2023 season. Shohei to the Rangers? Oh, yeah. I know. There's a lot of buzz about it. We're going to get into it. We'll talk about it. Also, Cowboys. We'll talk about their underdogs in 5 games. And the Cowboys are hiring a lot of data analysts. We'll talk about what that means for Mike McCarthy and the Cowboys in 2023. All of that and more. Before we do, let's introduce you to the rest of the crew. He was a second-round pick for the Montreal Expos, but a first-round pick for the Austin Radio Network. He had committed to the University of Texas, but decided to forego the 40 acres and chase his dream and the cheese. Pimping ain't easy, but for him, it's a breeze. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Mike Hardball Hards. What's going on, brother?
What it do? New theme Thursday. I'm excited about it. We're always getting it popping. We're one day closer to the weekend. I love talking about Big 12 Media Days because that means football is getting closer and closer and almost upon us. Speaking of football, and the Hard Knocks Life, make sure you get a chance to tune in. We got our man CJ Vogel going to come on and talk to us about what his takeaways are from Big 12 Media Days. And not only does he cover the Longhorns, he also covers the Sooners. So he'll be able to break down some of that as well.
I did not know that.
Yeah, but let me talk about my man that sits across from me that breaks it down for you every single day in a professional way, as always. He hails from H-Town with the Get Down. He's a lifetime Longhorn and a proud card-carrying member of DBU. Legendary lifetime and now college football Hall of Fame Longhorn Derek Johnson said he was the best cover corner he had ever seen. He's a former NFL DB that still has that passion for film study, but he's not a fan of white condiments. But of course, he is a fan of you, the listeners. He is my man and yours, Rod Babels.
I appreciate the intro as always. Let's not waste any time introducing the real MVP, one of the hardest working members of the ARN family. He's got a hustler spirit, period. We don't know what he's paid. We're pretty damn sure that he's underpaid. It's Patrick Davis, y'all. What's going on, brother?
Doing good.
All right, we got a lot to get into. We'll talk Big 12 Media Days. Also, we know that there's a lot of talk out there, of course, about the new partner.
Yep.
For Texas football when it comes to their radio broadcast. So that is out there, too. So obviously we understand. And there's a lot of chatter. Let me just say this. I know there's a lot of chatter out there, period.
Chatter.
I work with 2 very professional guys who are, honestly, 2 of the best at what they do that I've ever worked with. And, yeah, a lot of stuff happens. The gentleman that I work with, as well as myself, have chosen not to really bring it to the airwaves, as well as the coworkers I have, because that affects the product that's on the air. And what matters most to the people that I do a show with, these gentlemen, is the product on the air. That's what matters to us.
Right.
Yes, and exactly, right? You guys have jobs out there. You're doing stuff. There are things that happen that you have no control over. Hopefully you have enough pride in yourself and what you do that's what matters, the service or the product that you're bringing to the table. And it's not always your fault that something happens that's out of your control that may end a partnership or that may change things. All we can really control is our work ethic and what we bring, the product that we take pride in. We're going to do that to the end, period.
Facts.
That's what we do.
Facts.
Yeah. These gentlemen have been unbelievable. And so I'm just throwing it out there. I know it. A lot of y'all upset about the way things have been handled. We don't control that.
Yep.
That's we got no control over any of that.
As we like to say, it's above the pay grade.
That's above our pay grade, guys. And most of y'all listening right now, you deal with the same situations.
Yep.
All right. So listen, I guarantee you these gentlemen I work with are talented enough where you will have access to their product and their personality and their opinions somewhere. Guarantee you. And mine too.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
No matter what the situation.
You can talk about us.
Yes.
But we all know you're going to be just fine as well.
So, listen, what we care about is the connection that we made with you guys. That matters to us. That's why the product matters. So we're not going to let that get affected by whatever's happening.
Yep.
No matter how long it's got left. And, that's why Harge is going to be available in some way, form, or fashion, and so will Patrick, because honestly, it ain't about the money. It's about
it definitely is.
It's about the connection that they formed with you guys over the years, and you guys matter to us. You guys are like family to us, and hopefully that's the same with us, with you. So I apologize for having to start off the show like that, but I know it's a lot of questions, more uncertainty. We don't have all the answers because we're not provided with all the information. We're not necessarily given that privilege.
Right.
As most of you guys who are working for somebody else is not given that privilege either. People assume they're smarter than us, and that's good. They make the decisions.
No doubt.
All right. What matters to us is our relationship. That's what matters to me. That's what matters to Harge. That's what matters to Patrick.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. And we're going to ride.
And we're gonna ride.
Hey, let me tell you, I have fun for 4 hours every day talking sports with these guys, and we're just going to keep doing that until we can't do it no more.
No doubt.
Ride the damn wheels off.
Hey,
well said, my
with
brothers.
us.
Well said, my brothers.
So, yeah, that's all. I mean, I understand we don't want to, we don't want to really, toxify the show with that kind of stuff.
No.
We're all about making sure the product on the air is the most enjoyable product for you because you got enough stress in your life and you don't want to worry about that kind of stuff. We don't want to worry about it either, but real life is real life.
Real life.
All right. So let's get to Big 12 Media Days coverage. By the way, 512-337-3776. That is the number to the Specs text line. Always hit us up there. Or, even more importantly these days, Twitter. You can always holler at us. My man Harge at Hardball Harge in the Twitterverse. My man Patrick Davis at It's Patrick Davis. I'm at Rod Babers in the Twitterverse. Craig Way, who is a gentleman and a scholar. The voice
and it
of
doesn't
Longhorn.
necessarily have to be in that order.
A scholarly gentleman, whatever you want to put it. He had a chance to sit down with Steve Sarkisian. We cut out the part where he's telling the story. I would invite y'all to go actually.
I was going to say, we should have kept that in there because that is outstanding.
I'm just...
because
it was outstanding.
It was outstanding
It was
because
great.
of the way that it was described and the
great.
way that Sark came to him with it was funny to me. I was like, oh, man, I didn't realize that's how it
Craig Way
started.
That's for your bonus content. You can go to the Horns YouTube for your bonus content.
how you do
Make
it,
sure you throw us a subscribe for there because
That's right.
it all helps out.
Amen. Yeah, because it starts off really funny. It's Craig Way telling the story. I just says about an alligator of some kind. So we'll get into that. But this is the interview that head coach Steve Sarkisian sat down with Craig Way and had earlier this week, actually yesterday, at Big 12 Media Days.
Let me ask you about the summer and about how it's gone for the guys and their off-season work and getting ready for the coming season.
I think it's gone really well. I feel like the year in general has gone well for the guys. And we touched on this, getting ready for spring ball and coming out of spring. I thought winter conditioning went really well. I thought the implementation of some of the new players, the transfers, as well as the high school kids in the wintertime and then going through spring ball, I thought spring ball was a success in that, we didn't have any major injuries coming out of it. Guys that were coming off of off-season surgeries kept getting healthier, and that trend has continued into the summer. What I've been talking to the team about, I just love their focus. I think that these guys now in year 3 really understand what we're about. I used to talk a lot about buying into our culture. I think more so now, these guys aren't just buying into the culture. They're elevating our culture. They're contributing to our culture, and that's how your culture continues to grow and get better. But I like our group. We're talented. We're tough. I think we got really good leadership. I love the staff continuity. So in the end, summer has gone really well because I think that these guys understand the expectation of each phase of our season. Summer's no different. It's tough. It's hard. The weather has not been kind, but that's what it's for. It's for us to get kind of hardened to get ready for the season.
Speaking of staff continuity, Sark, knowing how important Coach Patterson was to you last year in that special assistant role, you've got 3 guys in those special assistant roles. Specifically, and kind of what were you looking for when you hired those 3? Specifically, a guy like Paul Christ, where you both come from the same frame of reference as Power 5 head coaches who've run your own programs, yet serve as the play caller and kind of delineating and distributing those duties.
Yeah, I think anytime you try to bring people into your organization, you want to be specific in what their role is and how they can, A, help what we're trying to do, and B, what we can offer to them. I think Coach Christ, obviously, his experience of being a tremendous head coach in his time at Wisconsin and at Pitt, but his track record of kind of where he grew up in the profession. He worked for Mike Riley for a number of years. Mike Riley, that connection he had with Norv Turner way back in the day. Norv Turner hired me as a quarterback coach for the Oakland Raiders when I was 29 years old. So philosophically, I think there's a lot of things that make sense. Joe DeCamillis is coming to us from the National Football League after 31 years. And his experience and expertise, not only on special teams but in game management, I think will be helpful. And then Payam Sadat coming to us, one of the originators of the flex defense, and that ability that defense has to create pressure on the quarterback. So everything was for a reason to what we do. I think they've all been tremendous additions to go along with some of the younger folks that we've brought in, but then ultimately keeping that core staff in place that we have now for 3 straight years.
Would you say that maybe the role of that position when you have those special assistants, it's evolved maybe over the past few years? I mean, everybody always thought about a coach sitting in a room just cutting up tape, and I know a lot of that still happens, obviously, but has it evolved a bit?
Well, I can't speak on behalf of what other people do or how they utilize people in their organization. We try to make sure that these guys, if they're going to spend their time, if they're going to be with us, that they can have a significant impact on what we do. And so they've got roles and responsibilities. I love having them because of the expertise that I can bounce things off of them, or we can go to a practice and training camp and I can ask somebody to say, hey, can you watch X, Y, or Z today? And then get some feedback on that, whether it's a specific drill, whether it's a position group, whether it's a specific scheme that we're trying to implement that day, that they've got the eyes and the expertise to give me knowledgeable feedback.
What does your summer look like, Sark, in terms of your plan of, studying play callers that you like, guys that you try to take ideas from, and also looking back at last season and saying, I wish I was maybe a little cleaner in 2-minute here, or in 4-minute offense here, and just kind of breaking down. I know we talk about breaking down players, but as coaches, kind of going through that self-evaluation.
Yeah, there's no question. I always self-evaluate, self-reflect, really after every game, and then at the end of every season, and there's a cost to all that we do, and then you try to look at how do you mitigate that cost, because we only have so much time and energy that we have, and then you try to go out and what is going on out there, and who has been some of the best either last season or for the last 2, 3, 4 years, and how can you continue to implement some of the things that you think fit you, and not lose what you're really good at, what your core values are. So in the end, you always try to look at all that stuff, and you try to look at areas because it's not just about the plays, it's about the timing of when to call those plays and to have the personnel to run those plays. I would say my plays always work better when I got better plays running them, better players running them, right? So I think there's all that goes into it, and in the end, hopefully, as year in and year out as you go, and as we go into this season, that we've got everything in place from a personnel standpoint of players, from a playbook and schemes that make sense to, as a play caller, you feel comfortable with what we're going to do, and that all of the special situations as they arise, that you've got enough menu of things to do when those things come up that you feel comfortable and you're versatile enough to handle them.
I know they're pulling on you to get to other things. I want to give you an opportunity before you go to tell folks a little bit about how the ramp-up is going to go from here with the staff and with the guys as you wrap up.
Yeah, so the guys just finished up summer school. They had kind of the 4th of July week to kind of finish up school, take a deep breath. And then we're back we've got 3 more weeks of summer conditioning going. We got 3 more weeks of our PRPs and skill development work that we do. and then we'll crank it up August 2nd, and we'll go from there. And I think that we've got a good plan in place to get our team ready to play. I feel really good about the health of our team right now. We had a lot of guys coming off of injuries and different things. They're all back going. They're all back working, which is exciting. You want your full allotment of your roster ready to go. And then ultimately we've got to make sure that we've got the consistency, that we have a competitive training camp to get our minds right for a very challenging schedule.
Hey, I appreciate it. I know they're pulling on you, and we got your quarterback ready to hop on with us, too. So we've got that.
He's way more exciting than me.
No, that's all right. It's okay. I appreciate you taking the time.
Appreciate you guys.
All right.
Great. Enjoy the day, okay?
All right. Steve Sarkisian joining us here at Big 12 Football Media Days.
All right. There you go. You can go check out the comedic beginning intro to that interview with Sark. Go to the YouTube page for the Horn. It's really good. So go check it out. Or you can go to hornfm.com. Go check out the interview in its entirety. We cut out the comedic part. Now that Harsh brought it up, I regret that we cut it out. I don't know why we did that. We're trying to sound professional. I don't know. We're trying to sound more
I
professional.
thought it was professional and the way sincere side of Sark. And sarcastic as well.
Yes. I love sarcastic.
There you go.
Sark.
There you go.
But no, there's no doubt that this is a big year for Sark. I heard Colin Cowherd doing a bit about Sark today. I heard that basically
everybody,
because the Big 12 Media Days is happening and the big story is Texas. There are a lot of big, long hot takes, kind of long form arguments and debates going on about Sark all around the country. And you basically are in one of two camps: either you're a Sark guy or you're not a Sark guy.
Yeah,
and you got plenty of ammunition on both sides. If you're a Sark guy, you got lots of ammunition. From what he did at Washington, and then he was on the right trajectory at USC. Personal issues, we've all had them. All right, skeletons in your closet. Sometimes they come out and start smoking menthols, and you got to get them back in the closet. All right, happened to all of us. Then went to Atlanta, then went to Bama, then Atlanta, and then back to Bama, and that's the reinvention of Steve Sarkisian, and then gets the Texas job, and then we obviously know the rest of the story. There's still not enough evidence on either side of that argument. Let's be honest.
Right.
If you're a Sark guy and you're saying, oh, Sark, he's definitely got what it takes to be a championship coach, and he can and that's Chris thing. He's had a chance to, rebuild programs in a sense.
Correct.
With what he did at Washington, not totally with Texas. Texas was in rebuild mode, but they definitely needed to be reinvented. But there's not enough evidence either way. And this year is supposed to provide all the evidence necessary on either side of what we ultimately think of Steve Sarkisian as a coach. Right?
Couldn't agree. Couldn't agree. Oh, man, I'm like, what is going on in my ears? But that was me. That wasn't you, Patrick.
That
was
was
me. Hey, my head's on. Turn me up a little bit. Turn me up. But, yes, I couldn't agree more with you. And, the deciding factor for us has always been the sideline. It's been Coach Sark. It's been what are you going to do? And we can take it further back. We could take it back to all the coaches before him as well. Charlie Strong, you had talent. You recruited well, but then you didn't perform on the field. Same thing with Coach Herman. Herman actually did perform on the field, just missed some of the other ingredients to make sure that he was going to stay in the ball game. But now we're sitting here and we're looking at Coach Sark. He's done everything that he needed to do to get to this point, the epicenter of what everybody has been hoping for. One of the biggest things for me, you got all the talent. We've always talked about that. But now what has every other team in the Big 12 lost? Were they able to recruit and build the way that you have built from the ground up, the way that you wanted to? You said it. They walk and talk in which ways I like. They are carrying themselves. Even the conversation we had yesterday with X-Men made it even sound like that. Everything is set up on this platter. Now you got to go out and perform. But what are you going to do to help your team get over the top? We always talk about it. Players are going to win games. But at the end of the day, you need a coach to do and win some of them games where they need that coaching on the sideline to say, we're going to get over it on this. I'm going to call the right play. I'm going to make the things happen. Because Chris Kleiman is the one that everybody's looking at. Well, Mike Gundy is the one that everybody's looking at because he's had winning, successful seasons. Yes, they've done some things. Yeah. Now you are trying to change the way your numbers look in the book because everybody always goes to it. They're like, well, he's such and such in the Big 12. He's such and such in this career. If you go out there and you put up big numbers this year, it changes the way people view you, and everything is right in front of you.
Yeah, the big numbers have to be wins. I mean, that's the only big numbers.
No, that's what I
mean.
mean.
Yeah, he's got to get the dubs because he can put up very prolific offensive numbers, which he has done all throughout his career as a coach. But right now, people want to see the dubs. Hasn't had a 10.
See the wins and losses.
Hasn't had a 10-win season and hasn't had a championship. Has he even competed for a championship?
Yep. No, I don't think he has. No, he
exactly.
hasn't.
So exactly, this is the year. The jury's out now. This is it. This is people are trying to figure out. All right, if you're on the Steve Sarkisian bandwagon, or if you're not, this is the year where you'll get more evidence, or you'll get more ammunition, I should say, to fuel your argument. If you're a Sark guy and he succeeds, then this is the year. Boom, you can go over the top and win that argument. If you're not a Sark guy and he underachieves, then you go, I told you.
Right.
I mean, what did y'all need to see? Were you not paying attention?
Which
to
one
the
are you?
First few years of his career, it was pretty damn obvious that he was a slightly above average coach.
Right.
But if he wins and wins the Big 12 title, we go, guys, what were y'all looking at? He obviously did great at Washington, and then at USC,
he built from the ground up.
He built from the ground up. He had a personal setback, which we all have.
Right.
And then he went on to help Bama get a national title, and then rebuilt Texas and brought Texas back. What did you need to see? It was so obvious when you look back that he was going to be a successful coach. Either way, that argument will be made. It was so obvious when you look at it.
And I'm on that side.
That he's an underachiever or that he's a great coach.
I'm leaning on the side of great coach. I'm looking at
I am
it
too.
because I'm leaning more because we've seen the offensive mindset. We've seen the great hires. He's made great hires too.
He's made great hires.
He's made great hires. He's recruited well. He's
recruited
closing.
well.
He's been at closing time.
He's great.
But everything has to
Closing
come.
time.
Everything has to come out on the field. And if you can get there if you can get Texas to the promised land this year, I think the hate is going to stop, but I think the hate is going to rise because now you have become that guy. You have become the guy that everybody was hoping you would be that has changed the way Texas football has been viewed as not just, what did Mike Gundy say? 5 years or 50 years?
He said Texas has finished first in the Big 12. To finish first in the Big 12, what do you think, Mike Gundy? He said, is that based on the last 5 years or the last 50 years?
Exactly.
That's a great quote.
Right. So now are you going to be that guy that won't be like, yeah, Texas should be up there because they've established themselves in a certain light.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
So this is it.
The target is on their back, and Quentin Ewers was asked about that target. Everybody gunning, everybody coming after Texas. Picked to finish first in the Big 12 this year. And, of course, we know Steve Sarkisian, he wants all that smoke. He wants the smoke. He's talking about the expectations, how high the expectations are. Here's Quentin Ewers when he was asked about the target on the back of Texas right now.
I mean, I think there's always a target on our back, but there's also a target on the opponents that we're playing. We put a target on them. It's kind of like John Wick. You know, he's being hunted, but at the same time, he's hunting those guys as well.
A John Wick reference by Quinn.
Hey, I knew that made you happy, dog.
Big 12 title, baby. That's Big 12 title stuff right there. That is Big 12 title. I can see it right now in DKR Stadium on the Godzilla-tron.
On the big screen.
When they doing the preview video, the hype video to get everybody going, you got Quinn Ewers. He's just saying that little quote we just heard right there. And you got a John Wick quote right after that. Maybe a little something like this.
John is a man of focus, commitment, and sheer will. Something you know very little about. I once saw him kill 3 men in a bar with a pencil. With a pencil.
Oh, get the hype video ready to go. I need Quinn Ewers with that quote, with a nice John Wick quote as well, John Wick scene, and then keep the hype video going. Basically, Texas is John Wick this year. I love it. Texas football is John Wick.
Print
Texas football is John Wick, baby.
Print the shirts. Quinn Wick.
I love that,
Quinn
man.
Wick.
Quinn Wick.
That's what somebody just hit us up. They said call him Quinn
Let's
Wick.
go, baby. I love it.
Yeah.
Hey, watch that. All 4 of them. I haven't seen the latest. Have y'all seen the
I've
latest?
seen
John
the
Wick?
latest one.
You seen the latest
Yeah.
one? And you went because you weren't a John Wick fan originally.
No, I'm not.
Okay. What'd you think?
I mean, I'm still like, there's so much survival that's in
Have
there.
you seen? Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
He's
There's so much survival,
Have
and
you
I'm
seen
like, come
all
on.
of them?
Yes, I'm caught up.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
I'm like, how are you surviving?
Hey, don't be asking them kind of questions.
Is that dude made with polyurethane?
That's going to be Texas this year in the Big 12. That we barely survived.
They're gonna be
Boom.
surviving.
Bullets,
Yeah.
bullets whizzing by their head.
Okay, I like
All
it.
right, just taking them out.
Okay, I like it.
That's what they're going to do.
I like it.
I like that, man.
I like it.
That got me pumped. I ain't going to lie. That was
I
it.
knew it did. As soon as I heard it, I'm like, oh, man.
John Wick
Where's
reference
Rod
by
at
Quinn.
with this John
It's like,
Wick?
man, you know what? Feel like John Wick.
I
man.
like it.
Can I hear that one more time?
I love it.
Just, I just want to
Run it back.
Run it
Wait,
back.
which you want the Quinn or you
I
want
want the Quinn one where he's like, I feel like John Wick.
I love
Because
it.
that was natural. He
That
wasn't-
was.
he
He
rehearsed
was
that.
yeah. He didn't know where the question was going to go.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's always a target on our back, but there's also a target on the opponents that we're playing. We put a target on them. It's kind of like John Wick. You know, he's being hunted, but at the same time, he's hunting those guys as well.
Damn right. I'm so proud of him.
Man, he did it. He
There you
did
go.
that. He said
Quinn
that
Wick.
for you.
I like it. So, hey, Texas media department, work on it. We need a John Wick reference in the hype video. That way, kind of our unofficial mascot of the season, John Wick. And you'd be like, what's that? Why are you referencing John Wick? What's going on there? Oh, y'all don't get it. You don't need to. It's our thing. Cosa Nostra.
Yeah.
know what I
There
mean?
you go.
Boom.
I like it.
It's our thing.
I like it.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, when Quinn said it, I was just like, Rod is going to go crazy on this one.
Oh, Quinn is
Soon as he said
speaking
it.
my love language,
Yeah, he
man.
is.
The nexus of pop culture and sports. John Wick reference out there? That is fantastic.
I knew it.
Okay, I wanted to get to some more stuff. We'll play that Quinn Ewers actually interview with Craig Way later on. We'll get to that, I promise you that. But coming up next, we got to talk about this Shohei to the Rangers story because I remember I brought this up a couple of weeks ago. I said, man, there's some people in Dallas right now. I know some people say Arlington, whatever.
Yep,
There's some
yep.
people right now in that area who are Rangers fans talking about Shohei and whether the Rangers could get Shohei. And then I heard E. Hogan on B&E say, actually, they got all the prospects they need.
I've been saying that for a while. When you walk
Look at
around
Shohei.
and you look,
Okay.
go look at how they build in their prospect in the minor leagues. They got numbers.
Hey, and now you got one of the top insiders in Major League Baseball making the reference too.
There you go.
All right, so we're going to get Rangers fans giddy when we come
on.
back. We're going to do that, talk some baseball. Also, did you watch Team USA? Did you watch the CONCACAF?
Yeah, I did.
You watched it?
Yeah.
Oh, just why you were sad? When you
That's why, yeah.
It was just wild. Okay, you know
Yeah.
what? It's all about expectations.
When the L's come across,
Yes.
and
Oh.
there should be some dubs.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Problem.
Harge is actually a soccer aficionado because he can't help it. His wife played soccer professionally at the highest levels, and he's got kids that love soccer too. So he's forced to be into it. So
I'm forced.
he's gonna give us a soccer update when we come back. Talk some Team USA. All that and more right here on Ball Don't Lie. Wonderful, not the horn. Welcome back to Ball Don't Lie right here on 104.9 The Horn. It is a new theme Thursday edition of Ball Don't Lie. That's when Patrick the Idealionaire plays songs, selections that are supposed to provide clues and hints as to what the new theme of the day is. And Harge and I are supposed to try to guess it. I don't know what the new theme of the day is, but this, in my opinion, it's actually one of the greatest hip hop songs of all time. I know that may seem crazy to say.
I don't disagree
Exactly,
with you.
right? It's
I don't
like-
disagree.
it was
Missy
good.
was cold,
Bro. When it hit,
yeah.
Well, when it first hit, it was. I don't know. I think it took over that. I don't know when it came out, what time of year. I think it took over that something.
Yeah.
Like, this is all you heard, and it's one of those songs.
I think it was either 96 or 97.
Yeah, it's one of those songs where I could I don't know. I'm sure you got songs like this in any genre. I can listen to it over and over again. And I can't tell you at what point I'm gonna get sick of it.
Right.
I probably could go 10 or 12 straight times and still be just fine.
Just jamming at the party.
Just straight jamming.
Yeah.
Like just
Remix!
like on repeat. Like
Yeah.
just it's one of them songs.
And
like
I don't think anybody get mad until
Yeah.
probably about the 10th time.
Yeah,
They'll be like,
like,
hey,
why-
man,
why
you
you
ain't got
mad at,
nothing
man?
else?
Hey, man,
Yeah.
this is a really long song. Ain't it?
it does jam, but damn. It's one of them songs.
Well,
Okay.
and you know what? I can't stand the rain, but we need some rain because it's 195
Oh, is
outside.
that the theme?
No, not
Oh,
that.
that was a good
That's a good game. It's a good
Dang
game.
it. I thought I was going to get something, yeah.
Oh, Lawrence found the theme
I'm like,
again.
oh, yeah,
That we
can't
need
stand
some
the
rain.
rain. Oh,
So you
yeah.
got songs talking about rain.
Yeah.
That should be the theme, Patrick. What the hell? Man, what did he just found a great theme? There's a lot of songs that talk about rain, too, by
That
the way.
is true.
There are a bunch of
Tons
songs
of-
There
about
is
rain.
a ton
All right.
that talk about rain. But dang it.
So that is not it.
I was just out there looking out there. I
No,
was like,
that was
man,
a-
we need some
that
rain.
was-
Oh, yeah, that's what I was trying to
Bro,
go.
that was great. I mean, that was like, oh, sorry, did it again. He stumbled over it again. Okay, let's talk before we get into this show. Hate to the Rangers, because that'll be the big topic of discussion. Your thoughts on Team USA losing in penalty kicks?
Yeah.
To Panama, but there was 1-1. Is it right?
It was
One all?
no, they didn't score until late. I mean, it was we were watching the game, and I'm like, oh, here we go again.
Did it go
They
1-1 to penalty kicks? Or was
No,
that, what was the
it was
score?
1-1 in
Okay,
penalty
yeah,
kicks.
yeah.
But I mean, they didn't score until extra period. They had to play a whole
gotcha.
extra period.
Yeah.
And that is when both teams decided that they wanted to score. So every time you get to that point, you get a little bit nervous. They had opportunities, and I know people on the Specs text line are saying that we didn't play with our best team. Very true. But you still need to go out there and win. Should have executed, and they should have been able to win that ball game. And that's the frustrating part about it, because every year you really want to be dialed into the U.S. team. You always want to. Obviously, the women, congratulations on the award last night at
ESPYs.
At the ESPYs, and
Shout
we'll get
out.
into that a
Yeah,
little
we'll
bit
get
too.
to a little bit.
But when you sit there and you're looking at this team and you really want to get behind them, because they do have a bunch of youth that's on there finally. You look at the youth and you're like, okay, gets excited about it. But then when you don't have all of your best players participating in the game, whether they're there or not, or traveling somewhere else, when you know that you have this game on the schedule, you need to make sure that you win it, because you need to be playing for gold. Because next week you would have played the winner. I think it's Mexico that ended up playing last night. I don't know who ended up winning that because I went to bed, but I was sitting there looking at that and I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
And so they were favored.
Yeah.
Team USA.
Yeah.
Oh, so you talking about it was?
And Panama is a really good team, but
Yeah.
United States should have won that game.
Okay.
They should have won that game.
Yeah, I know there's a movement right now with men's national soccer.
Yep.
To try to infuse youth in it. Number one, but then they've had some. Who's the manager now for Team USA?
He's not even from the United States.
Okay, they win. Guess
Yeah,
I'm
they
saying,
went somebody else,
right?
so.
And he's relatively new, correct?
Yep,
They've
yep.
had some change. They've had a lot of turnover. Yeah, trying to figure things out.
But they said Burkholder's coming back. The coach that was suspended for a while.
Oh,
He's coming back.
He is coming back.
Yeah, he's going to be the men's national team coach.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So I knew Harge would have watched it.
Yeah.
Harge is,
I was
he's
watching
forced to.
them and Austin FC.
I was about to say really?
Because Austin FC
lost.
lost last night too.
Yeah. Okay. Give us a breakdown and give it to me.
Terrible.
Well, they actually have made a move. They were.
Mexico did win 3-0, so they would have been playing Mexico. United States team would have been playing Mexico. But last
If I'm not
night,
mistaken, Austin FC was like, weren't they fifth?
They
had
were-
right to fifth in the conference standings.
because they won 3 in a
They
row.
won 3 in a row, yeah.
And then last night they went in there and they played bad, and it's just one of those things where they got back. I think his last name is Keller or Heller.
Yeah, Keller.
Keller, yeah. They brought him back, and then all of a sudden he makes 2 plays that weren't on the positive for Austin FC. He actually pushed Stuver out of the way.
I saw that video.
Right.
I saw that video. He kind of
And that's how they scored to win the game.
He kind of hip
One
checks
of
him out of the
goals.
way.
Yeah.
Why would he do that? Why?
Because he may not have known it was him.
No way he knew it was him.
There's no way. And he pushed him out of the way.
Did
and
he
I'm
think
just
he
like,
was like hip checking somebody else?
Probably.
Like the opponent? That was
Probably.
weird. I saw that video. Yeah. A lot of Austin FC fans upset about that.
very upset about
All right. There you go. Thanks for the soccer update, Harsh.
it. Man, appreciate you, bro.
Man, soccer aficionado.
Hey, man.
Unintentionally, too.
Unintentionally,
Don't even want
for
to do
sure.
it, but everybody in his household pretty much is a soccer fan, except your little girl.
Yeah, she's working on that. We're trying to get her back involved in it, but she is like, no.
Wifey would like it if she would get
Yeah.
interested, but no.
No.
She's a princess.
No.
She's a princess.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
That likes
get.
karate.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, she is. She was boxing yesterday
wanna
when I
fight?
came home. Oh
She wanna
yeah,
fight people?
I think she's gonna be a UFC wrestler. I do believe that. I think my daughter will be in UFC.
No. You should get her into wrestling,
She might. I mean,
bro. And not UFC. I'm talking
No, I
about
know.
pro wrestling, like Mark Henry.
I'm scared. I'm scared to
let
take
Mark
her
Henry
to a
too.
match
Bro,
because
honestly,
she'll be in.
She can be a princess.
Yes.
And also,
She's already got her. She's already got her set up.
and she can have her own persona,
Yep.
bro. I'm telling you,
Yep.
bro. You can really. That can be a career thing for her.
Hey, I'm not mad at her. I'm serious.
Think about it. You're trying to get
Trust
her into
me.
something. Just teach her all the moves at a young age.
I'm
She'll be a
all in.
phenom early on, a little prodigy.
I'm all in. I'm all in on that.
Harsh don't want to be coming home to a moonsault off the roof.
Oh, I will.
Give it to the top rope.
Every once in a while, I'll take that Russian sickle.
gotta build a little
that
ring
sickle
in the
that she
back.
wants
Hey,
to give me.
I'm telling you. You said she's into like martial arts.
She is definitely
But
into
she's not
stuff.
into soccer yet. She don't want to get into that yet. Bro.
Yeah. She is doing flips now.
I was saying, instead of her going down the path of UFC, push her down the path of pro wrestling.
Yeah. That's definitely something I can get into.
Come on now. Anyway, I don't know how we got into that. Let's hear from Buster Only, because Buster Only was on Get Up, I believe, on Get Up, and he started talking about the Shohei Ohtani sweepstakes, which is inevitable, which is going to happen. We just don't know when it's going to kick off. And he brought up, yes, them Texas Rangers.
If Ohtani is traded before the deadline, what teams would be most likely to go after him?
Well, you start with the Yankees, the Rangers, the Rays, maybe a small handful of teams, but there's no doubt. You talked with sources yesterday, they see the Yankees as potentially being the most motivated because Garrett Cole, Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, they're middle-aged players right in the prime of their careers. This is the Yankees' window to win now. You bring in Ohtani. Suddenly the Yankees rotation with him involved looks so strong. Ohtani hitting in Yankee Stadium, which favors left-handed sluggers. That's something I'm sure the Yankees would be willing to pay for if Ohtani is made available by the Angels.
That's interesting. You know why it's interesting?
Why?
Because the Yankees don't have the same amount of prospects to give up for a Shohei Ohtani. The Yankees have a decent farm system, and if you look at some of the players that they brought up recently, most of them have been on the pitching side.
Okay.
If you're getting a Shohei Ohtani, and if I'm the Angels, I'm doing them like Dame Lillard. I'm asking for as much as I possibly can.
Oh, you mean like basically trying to name the teams that you would be available to?
Yeah. I mean,
Or for?
I definitely would look at it
Does
because
Shohei
you
have
got to
a
look.
no trade clause?
Well, I don't think it's more about the no trade
Well,
clause.
Dame-
He doesn't
Dame
because
didn't
he's
have
still
one
under
either.
team control.
Yeah, he's
Dame didn't have one either, though.
No, he doesn't. But Shohei's still under team control.
Correct. But I still would look at if I'm the Angels, I'm looking at the team that could give me the best haul.
Yeah.
Because if you look at it, I would package a piece with Wyatt Langford, the new draft pick that they just got.
Which I'll tell you, one of the teams that has the best prospects out there. Because Rangers have good, Dodgers have really good prospects.
Dodgers
as well.
really do.
So if you're a team like the Dodgers,
The Braves has a great farm system.
Yeah, you
do.
said you liked the Braves weeks ago.
and I think if you see the Dodgers who want to sign him, so that may be the only reason the Dodgers don't get into it is because they think they can sign him and keep all their prospects and sign him next season. But
One
if
of
they
the
want
largest media markets too, easy in and out.
and
from
their
China.
National League, that's
Yep.
one of the things with the Rangers and the Angels. The Angels are going to trade him within the division Now this is them tanking the rest of the season, and they know that, and they're fine with that, and they think that he's not going to re-sign, so they don't necessarily mind giving him in division. I don't think as much. I'm sure they would not be thrilled about having to play him again and him coming back there this season.
Oh,
but I think the Dodgers would be my number one guess of who has the most to offer, the ability to keep him next season, and that they're in the NL. I just think they would rather send him to a team in the NL where they go, yeah, if you're going to leave, cool, stay over in the National League.
Yeah.
And we may only have to really meet up with you in the postseason in the World Series, but you're not going to be sitting in our division, or we're going to have to play you 4 or 5 times a year. We don't want to do that.
Right.
We know how good you are.
that's a good point. And like I said, I don't know when this thing is going to start. We haven't heard any real substantive reports. Everybody just knows it's happening.
Correct.
Because they're not going to keep them to the end of the season.
They're sellers. They said that they were going to be sellers just because if Mike Trout didn't get hurt,
then they had a shot.
It's a different team for them because they're still in striking distance. Hell, you know as well as I do, a lot of times teams, when you think you're about to tank and you're going to try to go in another direction, that's when you play better. A lot of times the team starts playing better because you start bringing up some of these younger players that are hungry. They're not coming up there to fail. They're going to go up there and try to win.
Yeah.
So you still are in between it. And anytime he takes the mound, which he's supposed to pitch tomorrow night, anytime he takes the mound, you're probably going to win that game.
It's must-watch television,
you know what I'm saying? But you're probably going to win that game.
Is that game going to be on national television somehow?
I'm sure it is.
If Major League Baseball if they aren't, I don't know how they do it, but doing like the NFL and flex scheduling, basically, Shohei every time he's on the mound,
they're missing an opportunity.
If they're not doing it, that's criminal. That's basically malpractice.
It is not.
It's marketing malpractice.
It is
really?
not.
It is not.
No, and they're playing this really bad team called the Houston Astros. So
what the hell, man?
The Astros game will not be on national TV.
That's crazy.
The Apple TV Plus game is Giants and Pirates. ESPN Plus is White Sox,
Bro,
Braves.
You need to put something in the contracts where, like, sorry, man, we can push it. Even if you got to do it with one of your other media partners, it's like, man, you got to push it. It's the best story in sports.
Yeah, and I don't know why they're not trying to put more national games out there. And I get, again, this is because of those stupid local
got the contracts. Yeah, I know it.
But nothing's happening right now in sports. You got to put more national games of baseball on, right?
You do.
With that guy, you can steal headlines. The chance of him
against the reigning World Series champions versus Shohei Ohtani.
One more hated teams and hatred brings that eyeballs.
It seems like it's a good one.
Oh, what are you doing, man?
I will say this for the Yankees in the trade talks. The longer this goes, the longer they stretch out not trading him, I think they get less and less value from the Yankees.
Right.
Because they're 8 games back. They're in a really tough division. They're 4th in a division, 8 games back right now. You have to sit there if you're the Yankees and be like, well, we need him, but we're going to give all this up for a possible rental, and we still may not win our division?
The Yankees are the only team actually that would do that. Because they're the Yankees.
They are. But
everybody else would be like, nah.
I'm not my asking price. You can't ask.
Yeah,
you
true.
can't give me on the trade deadline.
Urgency of this season.
You can't make me miss another month or another 15 games, 16 games without Shohei, and then at the end be like, now we want all those prospects. No, give them to him now.
Yeah.
Let's make the deal right. In fact, don't start him on Friday. Let's make this deal happen.
I don't know
because we want his start.
I don't know what's
we want him. We want him as soon as he's ready to get a start.
That's a good point. Yeah, especially if you're in it.
If we're giving you this massive amount for half a season of a contract, I want all that half season.
Because that's the value right now is that before I got to pay him. At least.
Well, and I don't know he's staying. He's a free agent.
Right.
But
that's the scariest part, I think, for a lot of them is, are you going to
sign and trade kind of thing?
Are you going to gut your farm system to where you're going to have to struggle later? It's a longer game in the baseball world because of it.
And that's what I think is so the Rangers are more of a player for me if it's at the trade deadline.
Right.
Because then they go, okay, you don't have any other offers. So we can give you a reasonable deal for a rental of Shohei Ohtani. But clearly no one's offering you anything big for him. And the earlier it happens, then it's more Yankees Central. But I think the Braves, Dodgers, and Rangers, all because they're leading in their division, will be playing more at the trade deadline. They're going to try and hold out for the Angels and try and lowball them as much as they can because they go, look, we're getting him for 2.5 months.
But the thing about it for me is, for the Rangers situation, you have to do it in a little bit of urgency because your window is going to change drastically. You already spent a lot of money to bring a lot of players in that you have, especially in the middle infield. That's $500 million right there. And then you also got to look at it this way too. You just lost Jacob deGrom for the year.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you had a lot expected for you to have that push in the end. And lastly, if you want them eyeballs on you, because the Rangers are on TV around here, and the Ranger fans will eat that up. You want your ballpark sold out every single night? You already got a lot of people coming to the games because you're in first place. Bring Shohei Ohtani. Any place that you go, everybody's going to go because of the fact that you have all those All-Stars, 6 All-Stars, 5 starters in the All-Star game. And you're going to bring Shohei? Yeah. That will make it 7.
No, I'm with you. They do that. They're the team to beat.
Yeah.
That's crazy
they
to say
have
that.
to.
They'd be the team to beat considering what they've done in the first half of the baseball season.
And there will be no holes in your batting lineup. 0.
Yeah. I mean, in all reality, unless it's the Yankees, I think they're the team to beat. Because if it's the Braves, they're the team to beat. If it's the Dodgers, they're the team to beat. If it's the Rangers, they're the team to beat.
Pretty much.
Right.
The Yankees are the only one that are not, they're
beat.
not playing well enough right now to say, oh, you add them and they're the team to beat because they're just not playing well. Now they get healthy, they start playing at their highest level, then maybe they are. But I think everyone else who's in that, it puts them on the edge.
Yeah.
I think he's just that good.
He is that good.
You're getting a Cy Young candidate and you're getting an MVP candidate.
You're getting, you can
and not for the same thing.
Yeah, agreed. It's crazy. Okay, so that's the conversation. Shohei, and I heard the contract could be upwards worth of $600.
Love it.
You're talking about $600-something million for this dude in the contract?
Yup.
Wow. He's going to be the highest paid pro athlete in North American pro sports. Gotta be.
He's got to be.
Who's that right now? Is it Lionel Messi or somebody like that? Is it Messi? What's Messi making? Messi's got to be making something crazy.
He's making some really
it's
ridiculous.
Some
And now he's here.
That's what I'm saying. I think with the Inter Miami thing, I think he might be in that conversation.
Apple. He's getting some of that Apple TV money,
different conversation.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to come back. We'll get into the flex on the other side right here on Ball Don't Lie. 104.9 The Horn. Hey, what's up, folks? Lifetime Longhorn Rod Babers here. Let me tell you about my favorite light beer. That's Bud Light. When I'm going home trying to decompress after a long, hard day, all I got to do is break out the Bud Light. It's a perfect time to do it. That's because Bud Light is the perfect beer for any and every occasion. Yeah, maybe it's just decompressing after a long, hard day, or maybe after I do some yard work, I need to cool off trying to beat the Texas heat, or maybe it's happy hour. Maybe I'm going out dinner with friends and family. Maybe I'm just putting something on the grill. Maybe I'm just going out enjoying the Austin nightlife. Whatever the occasion, Bud Light is always the perfect beer because like when our Longhorn tailgates on Saturdays, love me some Bud Light. NFL Sundays, love me some Bud Light. Turns good times into great times and the rest of the times into the best of times. And if you want to keep the good times going, just make sure you got the Bud Light flowing. That's why Bud Light is my beer and it should be yours too. Bud Light brewed deep in the heart of Texas by Texans for Texans and proud of it. Welcome back to Ball Don't Lie right here on 104.9 The Horn. A new theme Thursday. That's when Patrick the Idillionaire plays jams, selections intended to provide clues to Harj and I as to what the new theme of the day is. And a little young star?
H-Town, ain't it? H-Town.
Wow.
Young Star.
I never thought I'd hear young star on these airwaves like that. It's amazing.
That beat was nice, too.
Oh, I loved it. I loved me some young star back in the day. Man, big
Who was
fan.
he with?
Screwed
Tech.
Up
Screw
Click,
Tech.
man.
Yeah, Screwed Up Click. That's right.
SUC.
I remember Zay played this one day trying to help Chad get his card on.
Really got it. I think got famous from the June 27.
Yeah.
Originally from the original June 27 freestyle. Everybody remembers Young Stars freestyle on there. Man.
Is this 713 day?
It is 713 day, but that is not the thing. It is 713 day.
That's another good one.
That's a good one.
Harj, that's another good one.
Yeah.
Bro, how old Harj came up with two really good themes.
But Missy's not from H-Town, so maybe that's, I just threw that out there.
But it's 713 though. But
Yeah,
still.
it is 713.
Good. That's damn good.
Did Missy do a song
I'm
with
not
somebody
gonna-
from H-Town?
Wow. Man, I'm not going to lie. I have no idea what it is, but I really enjoyed the last two songs. They're two of my favorite songs all time. I love that.
Can't
It's great.
stand the rain, Missy.
But what do they have to do with how they connected? Like, what's the commonality between them?
Well, he normally, if we don't got it by now, by 4 o'clock, we normally get it.
Young Star, Van Down Your Bloodline, Picture of All, and Missy, I Can't Stand the Rain. Wow, I am thrown off. I have no idea. What
H-Town is hot. It's hot outside with the rain.
I know.
So that ain't it, though. He told us that ain't it. So we're dealing with some heat over here.
Okay. All right. We'll wait for the next clue. Patrick always keeping us on our toes, why we call him the Idillionaire. You can be a part of the Flex, FLXATX.com, FLXATX, and all your social media platforms. Go check it out for yourself. They're getting ready to have up there their All Flex watch list. You can go check that out. They also have previews for football season coming up with some of the local district previews for the Flex area. So go check that out, FLXATX.com, FLXATX, and all of your social media platforms.
Yeah, they're getting ready to get it going real quick with all these high school strength and conditioning is going on right now.
In the heat. Speaking of the heat.
Proud of them boys. Stay hydrated.
Ooh.
Stay hydrated.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Sark brought that up too.
Yeah, you got to.
He said the elements have not been kind, something along those lines.
It is
like
not.
no, it's summer in Texas, man.
It is smoking hot.
It is.
And they haven't built the indoor facility yet, had they? For them, the boys to be over there working. The bubble's still lit.
They still got the old school bubble.
Yeah, they still can go over
in
to the
that
bubble.
joint.
Yeah.
But no, it's hot. They said temperatures today. What'd they get to?
It was supposed to be the hottest day in the history of the world.
Yeah.
That's what they said. Today was supposed to be the hottest day in the history of the world. And as you drive around town, my AC in my car keeps going like this. It sound like a tank out there.
I love that. You're not hyperbole. He's like, no, the hottest day in the history of the world.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been the history of it.
Oh, man.
That's what I heard.
No, I'm with you. It's hot. No, it's crazy. It seems to be getting hotter, too. Man, that's a good line. Hottest day in the history of the world. Yeah, because I heard was it David Yeoman that was on?
He was
with
talking
Craig Way?
about it. He was
talking
like,
about that.
It's going to be hot.
See, I mean, CB says it ain't rained in 22 days.
Man, see?
22 straight days.
And CB don't even live here no more. And he know that it ain't rain. Maybe he hasn't got rain.
Oh, maybe he
Yeah, maybe he got it.
I think
Yeah,
he's talking
okay.
about him. Yeah, he said
All
he
right,
hasn't
all
gotten
right.
it.
I was like, damn, how CB paying attention like that?
Oh, that's how hot it feels. All right, we come back. We'll get into more Big 12 Media Days discussion. Also, we'll talk some Cowboys. Cowboys actually going to be underdogs in 5 games.
man.
All those 5 games have something in common. They also hired a new data analyst, but will they listen to the data analyst? That is the question. We'll discuss all that and more right here on Ball Don't Lie 104.9 The Horn. All right, welcome back to Ball Don't Lie right here on 104.9 The Horn. New theme Thursday. That's when Patrick the Idillionaire plays jams that are supposed to provide clues and hints to Harge and I as to what the new theme of the day is. And he has played Missy Elliott, Can't Stand the Rain. We've had Young Star, Bleeding Down Your Block. And now we got Mystical, The Man Right Here. Are these songs that I would listen to get me pumped up before I would go play football?
That's very close.
Yeah, you are very close.
These hype songs?
That is so close.
Because I feel man, these are all songs I would play on my hype music.
Do you have a good guess?
I do have a good guess right now, finally. These are all the songs that were my walk-up songs when I went to the plate.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, nice.
I told him, I said, do not tell Rod what they are.
Okay.
I want to wait and see what it was.
Okay, that's good.
Because you were like, the games that will get me hyped up, this is what it is right here. You couldn't have said it any better, bro.
That is perfect.
Yeah, you couldn't have said it any perfect.
And that's why CB keeps complimenting, like, man, Patrick with the heat. Patrick with the Young Star.
That's why. These are all the songs,
well
rest
done.
of the songs that I've come up to the plate to at some
it.
point in my career.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, you got great taste.
I told you, man. I told you, everybody that came to the games, whether the visiting teams, all the players, anytime I got ready to bat, I would watch their reactions in the field.
Man.
Because they knew. They were like, oh, we're going to play against her. He going to have us live out here.
Harge going to be jamming.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. Like I said, I can listen to that Missy song.
Yes.
I Can't Stand the Rain over and over again on repeat.
Yep.
Love me Young Star because I grew up in H-Town. On the south side of Houston.
Knocking pictures off the wall.
Yeah, Young Star was a legend where I came from.
Yeah.
And then Mystical, that's what, actually, I remember you saying Mystical was your walk-up music. I do remember you saying that now. Now that you said that, I do remember you saying that. Okay. Great theme.
Yeah.
Might be the best theme of
I had
the
to
show
throw you
so
off
far.
because we had the conversation before about, okay, one day I'm going to come in and we're going to do all my walk-up songs one day. So I talked to Patrick yesterday. I was like, do you have a theme for tomorrow? I said, I think I'm going to go ahead and do that right now.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm glad y'all got together on that one.
I like it's a song. That's a better than what you picked. I'm like, he picked it. Man, I mean, he's making me look bad while he's making me look bad.
That's crazy because I was like, man, I swear this is what I would play.
Yeah, exactly when you said it, right.
I'd be ready to go out and play right now.
That was perfect, too. That was perfect when you said that. I was like, well, you are really close.
Wow.
Because it was the same thing I would do right before I get ready to go up to the plate every time.
How many walk-up songs did you have in your career?
Oh, man, I've played for a long time.
I know you played for like a long time,
and depending how my season was going would tell you how many other songs I would come out.
Did you change up based on if
based
you
on
were,
how I was
you were
feeling?
balling?
Yeah.
To like switch up the mojo?
Yeah.
Wow.
But Mystical was always a part of my walk-up song.
Man.
Always.
That's good stuff right there. I'm excited now to hear the rest of these.
I got you.
Yeah, oh, no doubt. All right, great theme there. Patrick the Idillionaire hooking up with Harge this time. And then the new theme of the day, all the walk-up songs Harge had, not all of them, some of his favorites.
Some of my favorites.
All throughout his career, because I got to say, do you know the number on how many you had total?
Oh, yeah, I've had quite a few.
Do you know it?
I didn't even send Patrick all of them today.
Are we in the 20s?
Well, I mean, remember, I played a long time.
That was in a decade. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, how long we
Yeah, over 20 songs.
Okay.
And majority of them obviously were hip-hop.
Yes. Well, we know about all the songs in your phone now.
Yeah.
we know most of hold up. Remember I said that it's going to be black men? So you had a woman, though. You had Missy.
I did. I had Missy.
You had Missy.
That's right. That's
so
right.
you did have a black woman in there. So
That's
it's good
right.
stuff. So at least we diversifying a little bit. All right. Good stuff there from Harge. You can be a part of the show. Specs Text Sounds the best way to do it. 512-337-3776. You also can hit up Harge via Twitter. He's at Hardball Harge in Twitterverse. Patrick Davis at It's Patrick Davis. I'm at Rod Babers in the Twitterverse. All right, we'll continue our coverage of Big 12 Media Days. So we're talking a little bit of Big 12 Media Days, but also, of course, talking about Texas since we're discussing what they're doing. And we'll get to another interview as well because we have an interview with Craig Way sitting down with Quinn Ewers. We played the Craig Way sit down with Sark earlier. And you can go, if you missed any of those, by the way, just go to hornfm.com. You can catch them there or go to the YouTube page, the Horns YouTube page, and you can see Craig Way sit down with Steve Sarkisian. So we'll play that interview that Craig Way had with Quinn Ewers here in just a second. Or Quinn Wick.
Quinn Wick. We're going with Quinn Wick.
Hey, Quinn Wick should be the mojo. I like that. My favorite Quinn Ewers quote of Big 12 Media Days. We'll get back to that, too, because him making John Wick references really has got me giddy, man.
I know it does.
It's got, now, Big 12 title. I mean, that's it. They're going to win it.
Right. And remember this, too.
They're going to win it.
I know you were talking about go to the YouTube page for those other interviews, but make sure you go there and check out our interview with one X-Man, Xavier Worthy, and how he was reacting, because obviously on Twitch you can see it, on YouTube you can definitely see it, because Rod and I were here, but he was there in Arlington walking around with a cell phone to his ear, but the smile on his face when we were asking him some of the questions and his reactions, those are priceless. Those are priceless.
It was fun.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. He basically says he's the fastest guy. Highlights, he's the fastest guy out there. He did give us his 4x1 relay.
Yep.
And where he would race, what leg he would run on.
Correct. Yeah.
And Harge found some intimate information out about him. I ain't gonna spoil it. You're gonna check it out.
Yeah, get over there and check it out.
Harge revealed that he got sore. He know every damn body.
Yeah.
And he even know people that know people. Because he revealed to X-Man something that X-Man was like, how you know that? He was a little taken aback by Harge knowing that information. So go check it out. It was a really good interview. We had fun talking to X-Man, and now.
And shout out to Jacob for putting that together.
Yeah, shout out to Jacob.
Did awesome putting all those videos up.
Yeah, Jacob did a great job. Jacob, he's a baller. He's our social media, really our kind of social media savant.
Yeah, he is.
Video editing.
He does all that stuff. So yeah, we appreciate him because he went up there. He's been working hard behind the scenes. All right, real quick before we get to that Quinn Ewers sit down with Craig Way, I want to talk Cowboys just for a second. Couple of little nuggets here for you Cowboys fans out there. So the basically kind of some of the over-unders have come out.
Mm-hmm.
And the Cowboys are actually they're underdogs in 5 games based on these latest over-unders. And all of them are on the road.
Uh-huh. Which most teams, you should be the underdog against quality teams on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, regardless of who you are. So I'll accept that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you on that. I think you should be. I mean,
don't the home team normally get 3 points? That's what the normal betting lines always give you, is the home team is majority of the time favored by 3 points.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. Yeah, no, I agree with that too. So the Cowboys, they are underdogs at San Fran, plus 2.5 at San Fran. Plus 1 at the Chargers. The Chargers. Plus 3, and all these are playoff teams in 2022. So that's that's good. They're plus 3 at Philly. That's going to be a sexy matchup too.
It always is.
Plus 4 at Buffalo. That should be a nice one too. And plus 1.5 at Miami.
So you sit here and you look at that. The only one that you can really sit here and question was the 4-point spread in Buffalo. That would be the only one that I'm sitting there, because all those other numbers, I'm like, okay, that's cool. But a 4-point, you only get 3, so you're giving them 1 more? And originally they said what? They had it at 6? Yeah. They said it was more towards 6 than it was towards 4. So that's a whole touchdown difference?
No, people like
that. I like that defense for the Cowboys, though. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with. These are not numbers that, in my opinion, paint the Cowboys as a big time underdog on any occasion. Like, these are basically numbers that can flip at any time. An injury here, whatever, and
trending one way or the other.
The Cowboys end up being, these are toss up games essentially for the Cowboys. In my opinion.
Correct.
Because 4 of them are within a field goal. And like you said, usually you get 3 points depending on if you're at home or on the road.
Right.
So I'm with you. Listen, we talk about you said you're drinking the Cowboy Kool-Aid and the Longhorn Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Those are 2 of the strongest Kool-Aids.
I didn't tell you that they weren't spiked. They might be spiked Kool-Aid. They might be trash can punch right now.
Yeah, but if it's Kool-Aid, it's great. But sometimes it turns out to be Flavor Aid.
Right.
And not the Kool-Aid. And you don't realize until you halfway drinking it that down the gullet that, this ain't Kool-Aid.
Or sometimes it's that Kool-Aid that you try to stretch out for a little bit.
Oh, you water it down.
You put some more water in there.
Down. Ain't enough sugar in it.
Man, it does taste like Kool-Aid.
Not enough sugar in that
But
joint.
it seems like it's not as concentrated.
Yeah, don't like that.
So I've been on that part too.
Go check. Yeah, no doubt. I'm with you. And I think the Cowboys are going to be good this year. But to me, like I said, none of that matters unless they get past the divisional round. Yeah. They're in a similar situation to the Longhorns.
Yeah.
Where the expectations are so the expectations are so clear and defined that it does make it easy to determine success or failure.
Yep.
Cowboys is pretty simple. You don't get past the divisional round,
Yup.
it's a failure,
It's a failure,
of the
yeah.
season.
No doubt.
Nobody really cares about your 12 wins anymore.
Agreed.
You got to
And
get
I
past the
think
divisional round.
we're definitely way past that. Kind of, as you said before, it's just like the Texas Longhorns.
It's not that different. Yeah, exactly. Everybody
They
knows.
are the same. They walk parallel lives. Regardless if you're a Cowboy fan or a Texas fan or you're a Cowboy hater or a Texas hater. The fan bases are the same, and so are the expectations.
You right about that?
They walk a parallel life.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, it is a rough weekend sometimes.
No, I'm with you. Exactly. And if Sark doesn't compete for a Big 12 title and
Right.
win double-digit games, and it could be one or the other, depending on, but if he doesn't do one of those, people are going to say it was a disappointment.
No doubt.
It
no
was
doubt.
a disappointment.
It's definitely looking at that.
Yeah.
And like both of these coaches, they're in similar situations.
That's true because they've had success.
Yes.
But it still hasn't met the standard. And since the success doesn't meet the standard or the expectations, then, yeah, ultimately you'll be on the hot seat.
That is why being a Cowboy and Longhorns fan is one of the toughest jobs that I got. You already told me I got 13 jobs.
You got a bunch of jobs.
But I'm sitting here I'm here with two more, being a Cowboy and a Longhorn fan. Rough weekends, my friend.
Yeah, you
Rough
got them
weekends.
stressful Mondays when people walk in. They're like, "What were you working all weekend?" You're like,
Yeah.
"Feels like it."
Yeah,
Yep.
because he's got to have two teams play well. I'm a Texans fan, so for me, I've kind of given up. Listen,
You watch the Texans like I watch Summer League.
pretty much exactly.
You're like, "Hey man, I want you
You
go
got
out
it on
there,
the TV.
go out there. I want you to put your best effort forward. I want to see progress."
Exactly.
And that's
Yeah.
it.
It's not going to determine my mood on Monday if the Texans lose or win because I'm programmed now to expect failure and disappointment. So I'm all good there. For the Longhorns, though, I am a Longhorn, so it's in my blood. So, yeah, that ruins my week or weekend when the Longhorns lose. Texans, honestly, it's sad. But I've come to expect disappointment.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it is. But I still watch them and support them.
And it's the same for us as a Cowboy
It's
fans.
like some of y'all out there and y'all kids are a disappointment to y'all. You still support them.
Yeah.
They're still a disappointment,
We're
though.
gonna show
It's
up
like,
for
yeah,
you. We're
I
gonna
love
show-
you,
yeah.
but you're a disappointment.
Yeah.
You are what you are.
I'm
It's
very
okay.
disappointed in what you performed like today, buddy. But I'm here to hear for
I'm
you.
here. This love is unconditional.
Yeah.
But, hey, reality is reality.
Yep.
All right? You're a disappointment.
Yep.
All right. Don't take that personal. None of y'all's kids are actual disappointments. That was just
No,
part
I
of
love
the
our
analogy.
children.
You love
That's right.
all of y'all kids are awesome, and they could be president one day.
I love that.
Is that the biggest lie we tell our kids? That they could be president?
Not anymore.
Huh?
We got to create new lies now. Because they realize.
They know they can't be
They know
president?
they can't.
Okay. They used to tell us that we were young.
Yeah.
You can grow up to be president.
And now
No, I
everybody's
can't.
like,
Well,
no, now
we
they're
got
like,
no
I
shot.
don't want to be.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Actually, that job sucks.
Yeah, that was me growing up. They're like, "You can be president." You're like, "Why?"
Yeah, nah, that is a good point. Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
I could make way more money and not have the stress and burden of being the president. That sucks.
I just want to play basketball. I think, well, you're short, white, and not very athletic. So
yeah, nobody ever tells you that you can grow up to be an NBA player. Nobody ever tells you that.
No.
Nobody says you can grow up to be an NFL player. No, because the chances are really low. I guess the chances are even lower you can be president. You shouldn't
Right.
be telling kids that. Don't stop telling kids that if you're.
Well, they can read.
Yeah.
They got all the information right in front of them nowadays.
Just tell them.
They know they don't want that job.
Still they can be anything they want within reason.
And especially if exactly within reason.
I kid. Kids, no. You should shoot for the stars. You guys are awesome. You're the future.
Yeah.
You should listen to that Whitney Houston song. They are. I love the kids. Yeah, want to inspire them.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, let's get into this Quinn Ewers interview. We sat down with one Craig Way and actually got into a lot of different topics. Here is Quinn Ewers, the starting quarterback for the Texas Longhorns, with Craig Way, the voice of the Longhorns.
The last time I saw you in this building, I was calling a state championship game. Do you have memories and stuff about this? I know you've been in here other times than that before, but I mean, what goes through your mind when you walk into this building?
Oh, just how big it is, probably. I mean, this place is huge, and obviously, growing up in Texas, you wanted to end up playing the last game of the season here. So ultimately, it's kind of the same way when you're playing in the Big 12. You want to play here towards the end of the season, maybe not the end, but towards the end. So. And obviously, I didn't just play the state championship here. I played a fellow teammate of mine, Byron Murphy, against DeSoto here. I think it was the second round of the playoffs. But I mean, there's so many good memories here. Just with the South Lake Carroll green, I can just see it in the stands, man. No, there's so many memories here with just kids I grew up with, my buddies I grew up with. I mean, it's not far from home for sure.
How different is it for you, Quinn, a year ago to now? I mean, you're still competing every day with Malik and with Arch, but now, I mean, you've got some starting experience under your belt. You've got a full year in the program. You're not having to meet teammates anymore. You're acquainted with everybody. Just your comfort level now compared to where you were a year ago.
I mean, yeah, obviously it's going to grow whenever you've been in the system for a year and you've known guys that you've been around them for a whole year. And you've made great friendships. I mean, it just makes everything a whole lot easier. Definitely comfort level has gone way up for sure, even in the, weight room and out on the field when Coach Becton's got us, running. So, I mean, it's just been a whole lot easier for me. So, yeah.
Sark has talked about confidence in relation to that. How do you feel from a confidence standpoint? Is that something you feel growing? Is it just kind of second nature type stuff? Where are you at with confidence right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely growing for sure. I feel like I've had a great spring. I had a great spring ball and winter and, summer workouts are going great. PRPs are going great. I mean, it's only growing. So I'm excited to see where I'm at after fall camp. And I couldn't be more excited for this year. I'm ready.
Everybody likes to talk about the leaner, meaner Quinn, that kind of deal. I mean, how much work did it take for you to get comfortable, not only about your physical stat, but like Jeff said, with the confidence, with everything else, with the game, the familiarity? I mean, that's an evolved process over time, isn't it?
No, 100%. Like you said, it took me pretty much all of winter to kind of get comfortable with where I was at, football and just physically wise. It took me a lot of work. Definitely had to eat a whole lot better than what I was eating like.
What did you eat before that you don't eat now?
I used to eat a whole bunch of Chick-fil-A. I don't eat a whole lot of Chick-fil-A anymore. So Chick-fil-A was my go-to.
Was it?
Yeah. It was hard to kind of step away from that, but it's been good. I feel so much better mentally and physically. So, yep.
Quinn, as you look at this team, you've been with these guys all summer after spring ball, and we got a good look at you guys in the spring game. What excites you the most about this 2023 team?
What excites me the most is something that's not even on the field, just the relationships we've built throughout this time. I mean, all these guys, we're all in the same boat and we're rowing together this year. We're not rowing against each other. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited to see what we do on the field and what we do off the field. As a team. I mean, I feel like all of us has grown so much closer this past season or this past year, and I couldn't be more excited to see what we're capable of.
In that sense of everybody rolling together, every report that's come out talks about how you and Malik and Arch have really worked closely together and kind of gotten to know each other better. Is that an accurate way to describe it?
Yeah, it's definitely accurate. But the whole QB room, I mean, I'm so blessed to be in such a good QB room. I mean, nobody's trying to, find ways around or throw somebody under the bus, and there's none of that. I mean, we're all in it together, and we have such a good time. Those are like my best friends on the team. So, because I'm with those guys all the time, and, we get along so well. It's rare, honestly, for everyone to kind of be the same and act the same.
Do you get along with that dude right there behind you there?
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes, no. I mean, we have a great relationship. Both of us have kind of grown up together in the system. He was here a year earlier than me, but, I feel like we've kind of seen each other grow, which ultimately just makes us, want to grow together.
All right, Quinn, here's the big question everyone wants to know. Whose idea was it to take the picture of you guys showing off the abs in the locker room? And did you expect that thing to blow up the way it did?
Honestly, I didn't expect it to blow up. I didn't even expect it to get posted. But, when Malik, showed us kind of what he did with the post, I was like, yeah, let him go ahead. It was funny. But, no, we made this idea, months ago. We were like, hey, we're all going to stay after. We're going to hit abs. We're going to hit arms. We're going to take a picture, June 30th before our July 4th week break. I mean, we set a goal and we wanted to hit the goal, and it kind of gave us, some motivation.
Well, I appreciate you stopping by. I know you got a busy day and all that stuff. I look forward to calling your games this year again. I appreciate you taking the time to join us.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
All right, that's Quinn Ewers, Longhorns quarterback.
Yeah, man, Craig Way smooth, ain't he? I thought what stood out to me was when Craig Way asked him about, maybe it was Jeff Howe that asked him about what he's excited about this upcoming year, and he said it's not even something on the field.
Yep.
They're talking about the bond, the brotherhood, and how close they are as a team. That's important. That's important. Even, Vince Lombardi used to talk about has to be a certain kind of love in the locker room, not traditional love, but there has to be a certain type of love that bonds a team together, and you got to have that, because when the fit hits the shan and you face adversity, and there's got to be accountability. There also has to be that mutual respect, and you need to care for one another. And they seem like they're getting to that. They have what they call Culture Wednesdays or something,
which is really dope.
Yeah, and obviously they were at Big 12 Media Days on Wednesday. Basically, they do something that is non-football related and hang out as a team and hang out as a family, and they call it Culture Wednesdays. So yeah, you got to have that. And it seems like the guys are closer now. When you're closer as a team, you play for one another.
Right.
And that is important, that you not only have your own standards you want to play hard for and play up to. That I always say the name on the front of the jersey, the name on the back of the jersey should be enough of motivation for you.
Yeah.
I would not recruit a player who was not motivated by the name on the front and name on the back. The name on the front is Texas. The name on the back is my family name.
Yep.
Those two things are really much all I need to motivate me. But then, in addition to that, there should be the motivation of the man next to you, the man to your right, the man to your left, to play for them as well. And then you have the common goal, which for them is easy. Title.
Yeah, and that's all they've been talking about. That's the thirst that they have. And for Quinn to come out and be able to speak the way that he was and talk about his team and talk about his maturity, that's the other part. We had somebody on the Specs text line talking about what X said yesterday and how his maturity level has changed. I feel the same way about Quinn, and that's why the expectations. I love the fact that he was talking about why they posted that. They weren't expecting it to get out on social media, but it was something that they agreed to work to get to that level. And when they got there,
it was a goal.
It was there, and they were like, oh, yeah, we look good. Let's go ahead and take these pictures out there and put it out there. We didn't know it was going to be for the social media aspect of it, but we looked so good, it was like, yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Let's put it out there.
But I do think
thirst trapping.
It was thirst trapping. But even hard, we agree. Like, hopefully that the abs are getting as much work as the footwork.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because the footwork is all I care about.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I'd rather the dad bod.
You could look like Jared Lorenzo.
Thank you.
Go out there.
Dad bod, bit of a gut.
Yeah.
All good. How's the footwork?
Yeah.
How's the footwork?
How's that release angle?
How's the release go? How's the mechanics?
Are y'all hitting on that deep ball, baby?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I love the six pack, but that's for the moms. Like,
right.
All we really give a damn about is, hey man, the footwork, the mechanics, and that deep ball, baby.
Truth.
At least he said they were staying after to do it.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
yes.
it's not during normal practice.
But you can stay after and do footwork
I'm aware.
stuff.
I'm aware.
But it's all listen, I'm glad they got to go. The guys look good, and you got to be in peak physical condition
to
be able to accomplish your goals. But yeah, as long as that footwork is getting that time and that investment, I think we're all excited about what's in store for Quinn Ewers. What you got in store coming up for Harsh Knock Life?
We're going to talk to my man from the Football Brainiac, CJ Vogel's going to be talking.
Nice.
He's been up in Big 12 Media Days as well, and I want to get his thoughts, what he saw, what is exciting to him, and what is his expectations in the Big 12.
And you told me he covers Oklahoma too?
He covers the Sooners
This is going to be good. So we can talk about the rival for the Longhorns as well.
Absolutely.
All right, CJ Vogel does great work. We're going to have him on next for Harsh Knock Live. Once again, Harsh bringing on all of his friends and family.
No doubt, man.
He knows every damn body.
Bringing them all.
We'll be right back. This is Ball Don't Lie, 104.9 The Horn.
Welcome back to a new theme Thursday edition of Ball Don't Lie. It's your boy Hardball Harge, and the new theme is my walk-up songs throughout the season. We're going to continue that in just a little bit, and I'm having a lot of fun because we did not let my man Rob Babers know at all.
No.
And I know he was like, man, what is going on?
Hey, I got close to it. I was like, man, I'm getting hyped. You was good hype music. Turns out
you was dialed in
close
on that.
Yeah.
But you can follow me on Twitter at Hardball Harge. You can follow my man Rob Babers at Rob Babers. And the man behind the glass that helped me put this together is at Patrick Davis. We also love it when you're a part of the show. So hit us up on the Specs text line, 512-337-3776. And joining us on the Vaqueros Cafe and Cantina hotline is a young man that has been doing it and doing it and doing it well. You can see him all over the place. He does a great job with the Football Brainiacs. You can also follow him on Twitter at CJ_Vogel_TFB. That's Football Brainiacs. What's up, CJ? How you doing, buddy?
What's up, CJ?
How's it going, guys? I'm doing well. I'm loving that walk-up song.
You like that? You like that? That's how we get it in, man. Nice. Got to get everybody getting hyped up.
I love it.
Hey, CJ, if you had to have a walk-up song, what would it be, man? Give us the walk-up song.
Oh, man. In high school, I was a baseball kid, so Naughty by Nature, that was my number one for 2 years. So I'll pick that one.
I like that. I like that. Naughty by Nature. CJ out there doing it big. So let's get right into it, man. You just spent the last couple of days up there in Arlington at Big 12 Media Days. Obviously, the Texas Longhorns have had a lot of the headlines, as rightfully so. Preseason number one team in the Big 12, a lot of hype surrounding this team. But you also cover the Oklahoma Sooners, and we'll get into that conversation in a minute. But what was your biggest takeaways from the Big 12 Media Days, especially when it comes to the Texas Longhorns?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, anytime you come into Big 12 Media Days ranked number one, there's going to be a lot of attention on you when, you combine that with the fact that you're the Texas Longhorns and you bring in the logo that you have. There's going to be even more eyeballs towards you. And having seen Sark speak on the podium, answer the questions with the local media, and then also, having heard some of the players in attendance speak as well, the team knows they have a talented roster at hand. And they know that there are very high expectations, as there are every year. But, this year might probably be an exception with that number one preseason ranking coming into the season. And something Jordan Whittington said in his breakout group really stood out to me. And it was, the question was along the lines of, do you feel like it was kind of overdue that Texas was number one, coming into the season? And he said, no. I mean, we haven't quite accomplished what we've wanted to do in my time here at Texas. And until we do that, why should we be ranked number one? And while that's 100% true, back in the mind and in that conversation, he looked at it and he said, we have all the pieces to do it, and it's up to us this year to finally get it done. And it really does sound like behind the scenes that the maturity, the team leadership that you need to be a successful team in the Big 12 Conference is there for Texas. It's all about figuring out how to play 4 quarters every Saturday of complete winning football. And I think, if there's going to be a year that Texas wins it, it's shaping up to be this year.
CJ, you just really hit the nail on the head, I think, in one part of your comment there where about the 4 quarters, where Texas has to play 4 quarters. We know that Sark has been, brilliant, for a lack of a better term, when it comes to preparation and game planning, jumping out to some of these big leads. My big criticism has been he kind of loses the chess match within the game somehow, and then Texas ends up losing some fourth quarters in some of these crucial matchups. What steps do you want to see Sark take as a head coach to make sure that this team can perform at a championship level?
It's double-edged, because I do think there is a lot of that turns on to Sark. Obviously, when you only score 3 points in second halves of Oklahoma State, Kansas State, Texas Tech, it goes on, and it gets tiring. Beating the dead horse of second half of collapses. But Texas did start 2 true freshmen on their offensive line last year. And when games didn't go their way offensively in the second half, a lot of that was because they could not establish the run. And when you can't establish a run with 2 top 4 round running backs in the NFL draft, then you can't do a lot offensively, to say the least. I do think returning all 5 offensive linemen plus the 3, your 6th, 7th, and 8th offensive linemen to go with that is going to go a long way this year for Sarkisian. There is an abundance more of talent in that wide receiver room, kind of, especially in the Iowa State game where Texas really floundered in the second half. There was not a whole lot of help going out towards Xavier Worthy in that game as well. So Sarkisian really just trusting the guys around him and not trying to do too much. I think sometimes he got away from what worked in the first half of a lot of games. It's gonna work hand in hand, I think, this year with having a more experienced offensive lineman to pair up with, a returning quarterback and a very talented wide receiver core as well.
We're talking to CJ Vogel. You can follow him at CJ_TFB, the Football Brainiacs. I wanted to ask you this, too, because you sit there and you brought up all the things about Sark. The talent has always been there. There's been a lot of questions about who does a lot of this pressure fall on. We already know it's on Sark. Is the ceiling for the Texas football team this year on the offensive side of the ball or the defensive side? However we're going to get there, this group has to play at a very elite level. Is it Quinn?
I would believe so. And again, it's for that same reason that I mentioned earlier. You return all 5 starting offensive linemen. You have the school's number 1 statistical tight end of all time right next to you. Xavier Worthy has 21 touchdowns in 21 games at Texas. You add that to it with, A.D. Mitchell, Jonte Cook, Isaiah Nayor is back from injury. There's probably Ohio State and Washington are the only 2 schools in the entire country that can compare with Texas in the passing game when it comes to what kind of weapons they have that they can deploy on any given down. It looks on paper like a quarterback's dream. And if you look statistically and historically at what the good quarterbacks in the Big 12 Conference do that start out as true freshmen in the conference, that jump from year 1 to year 2, more times than not, is astronomical. And Texas doesn't need an astronomical jump from Ewers to be very good in this conference, but they need a jump and they need more consistent play. And if they make any kind of a adjustment this year and Ewers is just a fraction better, I can't imagine a season where Texas is losing many games.
Hey, CJ, you threw out a very interesting kind of hypothetical, or thought experiment more, I should say, via Twitter a couple of weeks ago. And you asked basically, since we're so high on Texas and everybody, the hype train is a runaway train. The brakes are gone, all right? No brakes at all on this hype train for Texas. How could it go wrong? How could this thing be derailed? What kind of responses did you get, and what are your thoughts? How could this Texas dream of winning a Big 12 title this year, how could it become a nightmare? Like, what comes to mind for you?
Sure. I think, injury aside, I think that's easy kind of out to any question that says, what could go wrong here. Putting that aside, but it belongs on the defensive line. And, Texas was very good in 2022 getting pressure on the quarterback, but they weren't good at getting the quarterback down on the ground through negative plays. For getting loss of yards and eliminating any type of, quarterback releases out of the pocket to create gains and what that may be. Obviously, we saw the Texas Tech game where they were on the field for 7 fourth downs and converted 6 of them. The front 7 specifically, you no longer have Keondre Coburn, Moro Ojimo up in the middle. Ovie Oghoufo is back out with Brian Kelly at LSU. And DeMarvion Overshown, who, for all intents and purposes, was the guy cleaning up a lot of messes when it comes to sideline that didn't really make the splashy highlight reel at the end of the game due to his athleticism. You no longer have that. That rush defense last year was elite. There's a lot of pressure on the quarterback. If Texas is unable to kind of duplicate that and see that back on the field again this year, they could be in some trouble where, they're all of a sudden – allowing points to teams that shouldn't be scoring a lot of points and didn't score a lot of points last year. And so that's an area that I'm looking forward to seeing early returns from in fall camp, is just what kind of pressure Texas is getting on on the quarterback early on. Who's going to be that guy opposite of Barron Sorrell that really, really takes that step forward and becomes, a guy that Texas can rely on getting the quarterback down on the ground.
Yep.
Yeah, we've been talking about that a lot too. And when we're looking at all of this, we try to figure out, okay, what will make this season so successful? Where will be the weak spots? And there's not very many weak spots. So we always go back to the coaching side of the ball and making sure that all of these players are in sync. And one of the biggest things, and I've been talking to Rod about this, and I heard X-Man talk about it, Xavier Worthy talk about this. Well, now when they go in the huddle and the play is called, they don't have to think anymore. The coaching staff has been the same. The voices have been the same. And I've been really big on that part on the defensive side as well. The voices are the same and the calls are the same. And now they're not having to learn with the young people. They're the young players that are here. They're learning. They're teaching now. Do you think that will help this team be more cohesive because of that? It's the same voices now?
Oh, without a doubt. And you mentioned it's the same voices on each side of the ball. It's the same voices at seemingly every single position. On the offensive line, you return all 5 guys. Christian Jones has been there 5 years. Jake Majors has been a team captain for 4 years.
Yeah.
That's important right there. Quinn Ewers, it was talked about a lot at media days, just what kind of progression he has made with his leadership this offseason. He said he went from, contributing in offseason workouts to then I'm leading them to now if I say something, it goes. And that was echoed with Jordan Whittington and Xavier Worthy, who basically said, he's the head of the snake. How he goes is how we go. And that's what I think every Texas fan really wants to see from their quarterback, especially one with as much talent as Quinn Ewers. And so it's really important this year that Texas has as much talent and experience at every meaningful position on the field that it's no longer I question what I need to do. It's second nature to them, and, it all just comes down to execution.
Hey, CJ, you cover Oklahoma as well. Can you give us a little, synopsis, just your critique really quickly on Oklahoma football and how good you expect them to be this year?
Absolutely. I had Oklahoma picked 5th in my Big 12 media preseason poll. That might be a little low. I'm still a little bit skeptical on Oklahoma offensively. We hear Sarkisian talk about playing complementary football all the time, and that doesn't necessarily just mean, playing good offense and playing good defense. It's being able to do so at the same time. And Oklahoma's problem last year is playing too fast. Jeff Levy loves playing as fast as he can offensively, and he loves being able to put defenses in binds by playing the hurry-up offense. And it's easy to do that when your offense and your quarterback is playing good football with accurate passes and you're able to move the chains. It's not easy to do that when you have an inaccurate quarterback. When the clock stops, you're not taking a lot of seconds off at the clock, and all of a sudden you're off the field in 3 plays. And so that was the problem Oklahoma ran into a lot last year was teams were running more plays than them by sometimes 20 or 30 plays in any given football game. That is a lot more plays for your defense to be on the field. And so Venables brought that up very briefly this afternoon at Big 12 Media Days, but he didn't necessarily offer any kind of solution. And, I understand that he's a defensive-minded guy, but as a head coach, you have to be able to sit there and say, we want to establish the run earlier in games. We want to be able to get our RPO plays going, to get the clock going, to keep our defense on the sideline, to make sure that they're able to play all 4 quarters without simply being exhausted every single time that fourth quarter comes around. And until I see that Oklahoma offense is able to sustain drives even without scoring touchdowns, I'm going to be pretty hesitant about their overall success on the football field this year. Will there be 6 or 7 again? Probably not. Will there be 10 wins looking to fight into the Big 12 championship game in December? I would be very surprised.
Well, let me ask you this then before we let you go. Dillon Gabriel is a quarterback that I'm very impressed with. I've been impressed with him ever since he was at UCF, who is now in the Big 12. Is he the difference that they need? And if he wouldn't have got hurt earlier last year, would they have been at a different level because of his play?
They probably would have been. I'm not sure they would have been Oklahoma of old because, again, TCU scored 65 on them. Texas scored 49. I mean, these were very, very exploitable defenses that Oklahoma was deploying each week. The middle of their field could not stop the run, and if you go back and look at some of their bad losses, it was because teams were running zone power at them at will. Danny Stutzman is the returning middle linebacker. He's a guy that teams really just kind of picked on, and they now pair him with Hassan McCulloch, the transfer from Indiana, who is a very fine, talented, elite prospect that offers from everybody. If those two guys cannot stop the run and really, be the Band-Aid on some of the bleeding that comes from that internal defensive line, Oklahoma's going to be in a tough position once again when it comes to stopping the run and getting off the field against teams that on paper are inferior to them in the trenches.
Man, yeah, we're still trying to figure that out, and I know Oklahoma fans are they don't even know if they really like Dylan Gabriel at the quarterback position, let alone what that defense is going to be like.
They need him.
They definitely need him. CJ, as a pleasure, as always, my friend. Thank you so much, and we're just that much closer to Big 12 football. One last ride, baby. One last ride.
Absolutely, guys. Thanks for having me on. Y'all have a great afternoon.
Appreciate
Thanks, CJ. You the man.
Make sure y'all go and follow CJ Vogel at CJ Vogel _TFB, the football brainiac.
I follow him. I've been following him for years now. He's a great follow, actually. He does a really good job following Texas football. And actually didn't know that he was doing Sooner football.
Yeah.
But actually, that's a plus, too, because he does a great job. So I'm assuming he does a great job with Texas and Oklahoma.
No doubt.
All right. Thanks for the time to my man CJ, and thanks to Harsh for bringing on CJ. We come back. We'll get into a little off the record on the other side and discuss some of the more humorous topics of the day right here on Ball Don't Lie. 104.9 The Horn. All right, welcome back to Ball Don't Lie right here on 104.9 The Horn. We're going to get to a couple other topics here where we don't have a ton of time, so I just want to bring up the ESPYs where we got our time. Hard, you watched a lot of sports yesterday. Did you watch the ESPYs too?
I did watch the ESPYs.
Man, you be getting it in.
Yeah, I did get the ESPYs.
Man, Hard. Okay, any highlights from the ESPYs that you thought were worthy of discussion? I saw the Damar Hamlin moment. That was pretty moving, where he introduced the training staff and the medical team from the Buffalo Bills that saved his life.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of got to you, boy.
Yeah, that got to me for sure. Mm-hmm. And the Liam Hendricks, the closer for the White Sox, who started the season dealing with cancer, going through all of his treatments, and for him to be able to go out there and continue to pitch, but also win his battle, ring the bell, because that's so important, because a lot of people don't get a chance to ring that bell.
Most important.
To be able to be cancer-free, and for him to be able to do that and then dedicate all of it to his wife, because she was the one like, hey, man, let's go fight this thing. Yeah. Let's go fight this thing. As someone who has survived cancer, I know what that's all about, and I know the work that he put in to be able to do that. A lot of people don't understand what happens behind the scenes.
Amen, brother.
There's a lot that goes on, but I thought that was really, really moving. I thought Savannah James talking about LeBron.
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty cool, man.
LeBron James has announced that basically he's not retiring. Yeah. I don't think that was any surprise to
me. We were all laughing at each other that day. He was talking about, I got to think about it. What you thinking about?
Yeah, you got swept in the playoffs, and you're going to think about retiring? Oh, so you never want to be mentioned in the MJ-LeBron debate again? Because that basically would end the MJ-LeBron debate. Right. Anytime you bring it up, people will go, he got swept his last damn playoff series. That's right. He got swept last one.
And then Michael Malone walked around calling himself the Lakers' daddy for 2
months. It's like, what is going on?
That's true. That's a good point. Mike, you called him Michael, though. Yeah. He did get us. We used to call him Mike Malone. I was like, Michael.
By the way, Darvin Ham's like, this ain't over.
Yeah. Hey, you don't want the smoke from Darvin either.
No, and I'm telling you, that's one of those guys who'd be like, I know Michael Malone is from
he's from New York, one of the boroughs.
Yeah,
he's from one of the boroughs. One of the boroughs.
I don't care. I ain't messing with Darvin Ham.
Nah, Darvin Ham I agree. He looks like somebody that can fight. I don't even. I want to mess with Darvin now. He looks tough. Okay, so here's some of the award winners.
I know Darvin. He is tough.
You know Darvin too?
Oh, remember he was here.
That's right.
And I used to live in Lubbock when he was there.
He knows every damn body. People think I was joking when I said that about Harge when they first brought him on. No, Harge does know every damn body. Patrick's a believer now. He's like, every time you bring up somebody, I was like, I know that dude.
I was like, hey, man, we can get it to pop. We can get it popping.
The Harge, though, like I said, he really does. Okay, best team award. Kansas City Chiefs were named the best team. Best play was the Justin Jefferson one-handed catch versus the Bills. The U.S.
That was smooth, though.
That was nice. Yeah. The U.S. women's national team were given the Arthur Ashe Award for courage. So that was a pretty cool moment. Angel Reese from LSU. LSU had a lot of big-time moments at ESPYs. She was named Breakthrough Athlete and also guaranteed another national title. Carmelo Anthony was honored by the Banana Boat crew. So it's probably a big time. And, Jimmy V, apparently, it was revealed that Jimmy V's cancer Dickie V. His cancer is back, which is also very unfortunate. And LeBron James, of course, had his salute to his family. And the Jimmy V Award for perseverance was given to Liam Hendricks, as Harsh just brought up, too. So that was nothing. Oh, San Antonio Spurs were honored for their service in Uvalde.
Yeah. They had them. I think they showed that they were bringing people up all the time and having them come and work out with them and doing little camps.
That
was really cool.
That's fantastic. I mean, that organization is straight class, homie. Best championship performance was Lionel Messi. Damar Hamlin, of course, we just talked about that moment where he embraced and introduced the training staff for the Bills and the medical staff. Best athlete in men's sport was Patrick Mahomes. Best athlete in the women, and he beat out Nikola. I think Jokic was up for that too, and some other. I think Aaron Judge was also up for that award. Best athlete, Shohei Ohtani was not, but next year Shohei Ohtani is definitely going to win that award.
They're going to put him up there, the most richest.
Yeah,
the richest player award.
Best athlete in women's sport was Michaela Schifrin, and the Muhammad Ali Sports Humanitarian Award was given to Jrue Holiday for the Milwaukee Bucks. Actually, I want to say the Stuver was up for that.
Yeah, he was.
Brad Stuver was up for that. So shout out to him, too, for doing great work. Best comeback athlete, Jamal Murray for the Denver Nuggets, and that's probably about it.
Yeah.
Lil Wayne did have a performance there.
Did you hear the performance?
What?
He adjusted all the lyrics to be more current.
Did he really?
Yeah. On the fly, talking about.
I didn't realize that.
Talking about Angel Reese, talking about Dennis Rodman with the tattoo on his face. Like he did all current stuff.
No,
like, it was amazing.
Lil Wayne is one of the most talented lyricists in the history of hip hop. He really is. He's not celebrated enough, in my opinion. He really is. And he's almost like he's probably close to 40 now or something like that.
I'm sure.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And he still got it.
Oh,
he's still.
When you go back
deadly.
and listen to that performance and you start piecing all of it together, you're gonna be like, he really did just do that.
No, Lil Wayne has the ability. You go back and listen to Lil Wayne albums from like a decade ago, no joke, and you'll still be surprised by some of the wordplay.
The relevance to it, too.
And you'll go, damn, I didn't realize that's what he was talking about. Because it's like Seinfeld, as your Seinfeldian humor. Sometimes it was kind of a highbrow, it was above people's head a little bit. And as you got more well-rounded as a human being and you learned more about the world and you got the joke, you ever get a joke, you're like, oh, that's what they were talking about.
Yeah.
I didn't get the joke 4-5 years ago, but now I get the joke. Lil Wayne's lyrics like that.
No. Well, my favorite one is like he said, real G's move in silence like lasagna.
Yeah,
I'm like, and then you go back and you think about it, and you're like, G's do it. They're real quiet. Yeah, G's don't never go out there and be loud and boisterous.
Yeah, he's
they move in silence.
No, he's next level, man. Wheezy, Wee. You know that
Wheezy F baby.
Carter.
Yeah.
Actually, my Shadow's son is named after Lil Wayne.
Come on. His name is Carter?
Yeah, he named his son after Lil Wayne. He named him Carter after Lil Wayne. And then he'll tell you,
love it.
They were like, why'd you name your son Carter? He's like, after Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne is his top artist. He loves Lil Wayne more than any other hip hop artist ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, not making that up. That's a true thing. Go look it up. Go Google it. All right, we come back. We'll get into more Big 12 Media Days coverage. We'll also hear from Steve Sarkisian talking to Craig Way, the voice of the Longhorns, and Quinn Ewers. Basically, this analogy that he made, to me, it inspired me, and it'll inspire you too. We'll play that when we come back as well. All that and more right here on Ball Don't Lie, 104.9 The Horn. Welcome back to Ball Don't Lie right here on 104.9 The Horn. New theme Thursday. That's when Patrick, the Idillionaire, plays jams, songs that are supposed to provide Harge and I with clues and hints that lead us to the new theme of the day. This time, Harge actually was in on it with Patrick. All the songs are songs, the favorites, some of the favorites of Harge as walk-up themes, walk-up music during his playing days. That's right. So this would be Harge swagging his way to the plate. You know what I mean? How long it take? How much of the music did they get to hear? So how long
they got to
play
hear
for?
quite a bit. I took my time.
So they play
No
like
pitch clock back in the day.
Yeah. There were no pitch clock. That's right.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very
Keep
true.
it
Very
moving.
true. I
Yeah.
like that. All right. Like that. Actually, you haven't played a bad one yet.
Yep.
I love them all. They're all fantastic. So I'm a big fan of your walk-up music. I guess everybody
Appreciate
was. You can be a part of the show if you're a big fan of the walk-up music. 512-337-3776. You also can hit us up via Twitter. Harge is at Hardball Harge in the Twitterverse. My man Patrick Davis is at It's Patrick Davis, and I'm at Rod Babers in the Twitterverse. We are going to get to the Sark interview with Craig Way, the voice of the Longhorns. We'll replay that for you. If you missed it, you can watch it actually on the Horns YouTube channel and YouTube page. You can go check it out there. If you want to go listen to it, you can go to hornfm.com and you can listen to the interview there. The way that it's basically my fault. I decided to cut it in a weird way that took out some of the comedic brilliance of Craig Way from the beginning. If you want to hear Craig Way just kind of freestyling, telling the story about an alligator and him on a golf course, which is really funny, and we just left it out. You can go hear it in its entirety on the YouTube channel for the Horn, or go to hornfm.com. But we took that part out, and I apologize. Hard is right. We should have left it in.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
So we'll play the Sark interview, and also if we got time, we'll get to Sark's interview with Quinn Ewers as well, and my favorite Quinn Ewers quote of Big 12 Media Days. And this quote makes me believe they're going to win the Big 12 title. They're going to win the Big 12 title. I'm telling you, I feel it. I feel it in my bones. Good mojo. All right. Before we get to the interview here with Steve Sarkisian with Craig Way, just want to throw it out there. Raj round the day. I'm going to continue to talk some Texas football. I have one troubling stat that I need Texas to rectify and remedy before we start talking about them winning a Big 12 title. And this is troubling, to say the least. I was going to bring it up with C.J. Vogel, and I didn't have time because I think he probably could have given us some more insight on it, but he was great too. So we'll get that posted. C.J. Vogel of the Football Brainiacs was on during Harge Knock Live talking about that. Okay, let's get to this Sark interview with Craig Way. We have this, Patrick, ready to go. Here is Craig Way at Big 12 Media Days yesterday. Also, shout out to Hayes City Store and shout out to One Source Gas for making sure that we're sponsored the trip to Big 12 Media Days. So appreciate them. But here is Steve Sarkisian with Craig Way, the voice of the Longhorns.
Let me ask you about the summer and about how it's gone for the guys and their off-season work and getting ready for the coming season.
I think it's gone really well. I feel like the year in general has gone well for the guys. And we touched on this. Getting ready for spring ball and coming out of spring. I thought winter conditioning went really well. I thought the implementation of some of the new players, the transfers, as well as the high school kids in the wintertime, and then going through spring ball. I thought spring ball was a success in that, we didn't have any major injuries out of it. Guys that were coming off of off-season surgeries kept getting healthier, and that trend has continued into the summer. What I've been talking to the team about, I just love their focus. I think that these guys now in year 3 really understand what we're about. I used to talk a lot about buying into our culture. I think more so now, these guys aren't just buying into the culture. They're elevating our culture. They're contributing to our culture, and that's how your culture continues to grow and get better. But I like our group. We're talented. We're tough. I think we got really good leadership. I love the staff continuity. So in the end, summer has gone really well because I think that these guys understand the expectation of each phase of our season. Summer's no different. It's tough. It's hard. The weather has not been kind, but that's what it's for. It's for us to get kind of hardened to get ready for the season.
Speaking of staff continuity, Sark, knowing how important Coach Patterson was to you last year in that special assistant role, you've got 3 guys in those special assistant roles. Specifically, and kind of what were you looking for when you hired those 3? Specifically, a guy like Paul Christ, where you both come from the same frame of reference as Power 5 head coaches who've run your own programs, yet serve as the play caller and kind of delineating and distributing those duties?
Yeah, I think anytime you try to bring people into your organization, you want to be specific in what their role is and how they can, A, help what we're trying to do, and B, what we can offer to them. I think Coach Christ, obviously, his experience of being a tremendous head coach in his time at Wisconsin and at Pitt, but his track record of kind of where he grew up in the profession. He worked for Mike Riley for a number of years. Mike Riley, that connection he had with Norv Turner way back in the day. Norv Turner hired me as a quarterback coach for the Oakland Raiders when I was 29 years old. So philosophically, I think there's a lot of things that make sense. Joe DeCamillis is coming to us from the National Football League after 31 years. And his experience and expertise, not only on special teams but in game management, I think will be helpful. And then Payam Sadat coming to us, one of the originators of the flex defense, and that ability that defense has to create pressure on the quarterback. So everything was for a reason to what we do. I think they've all been tremendous additions to go along with some of the younger folks that we've brought in, but then ultimately keeping that core staff in place that we have now for 3 straight years.
Would you say that maybe the role of that position when you have those special assistants, it's evolved maybe over the past few years? I mean, everybody always thought about a coach sitting in a room just cutting up tape, and I know a lot of that still happens, obviously, but has it evolved a bit?
Well, I can't speak on behalf of what other people do or how they utilize people in their organization. We try to make sure that these guys, if they're going to spend their time, if they're going to be with us, that they can have a significant impact on what we do. And so they've got roles and responsibilities. I love having them because of the expertise that I can bounce things off of them, or we can go to a practice and training camp and I can ask somebody to say, hey, can you watch X, Y, or Z today? And then get some feedback on that, whether it's a specific drill, whether it's a position group, whether it's a specific scheme that we're trying to implement that day, that they've got the eyes and the expertise to give me a knowledgeable feedback.
What does your summer look like, Sark, in terms of your plan of, studying play callers that you like, guys that you try to take ideas from, and also looking back at last season and saying, I wish I was maybe a little cleaner in 2-minute here, or in 4-minute offense here, and just kind of breaking down. I know we talk about breaking down players, but as coaches, kind of going through that self-evaluation.
Yeah, there's no question. I always self-evaluate, self-reflect, really after every game, and then at the end of every season, and there's a cost to all that we do, and then you try to look at how do you mitigate that cost, because we only have so much time and energy that we have, and then you try to go out and what is going on out there, and who has been some of the best either last season or for the last 2, 3, 4 years, and how can you continue to implement some of the things that you think fit you, and not lose what you're really good at, what your core values are. So in the end, you always try to look at all that stuff, and you try to look at areas because it's not just about the plays, it's about the timing of when to call those plays and to have the personnel to run those plays. I would say my plays always work better when I got better plays running them, better players running them, right? So I think there's all that goes into it, and in the end, hopefully, as year in and year out as you go, and as we go into this season, that we've got everything in place from a personnel standpoint of players, from a playbook and schemes that make sense to, as a play caller, you feel comfortable with what we're going to do, and that all of the special situations as they arise, that you've got enough menu of things to do when those things come up that you feel comfortable and you're versatile enough to handle them.
I know they're pulling on you to get to other things. I want to give you an opportunity before you go to tell folks a little bit about how the ramp up is going to go from here with the staff and with the guys as you wrap up.
Yeah, so the guys just finished up summer school. They had kind of the 4th of July week to kind of finish up school, take a deep breath. And then we're back into, we've got 3 more weeks of summer conditioning going. We've got 3 more weeks of our PRPs and skill development work that we do. And then we'll crank it up August 2nd, and we'll go from there. And I think that we've got a good plan in place to get our team ready to play. I feel really good about the health of our team right now. We had a lot of guys coming off of injuries and different things. They're all back going. They're all back working, which is exciting. You want your full allotment of your roster ready to go. And then ultimately we've got to make sure that we've got the consistency, that we have a competitive training camp to get our minds right for a very challenging schedule.
Hey, I appreciate. I know they're pulling on you, and we got your quarterback ready to hop on with us too. So we've got that.
He's way more exciting than me.
No, that's all right. It's okay. I appreciate you taking the time.
Appreciate you guys.
All right,
great. Enjoy the day. Okay.
All right, Steve Sarkisian joining us here at Big 12 Football Media Days.
All right, there you go. If you want to hear the interview in its entirety or watch it, actually, you can go to YouTube, the Horns YouTube account, and you can go watch it there, or you can go to hornfm.com. You can watch it there.
Somebody was asking about the YouTube page, and it's www.youtube.com/@thehornaustin for those that are looking for it.
Nice. I actually didn't even know you had to search for it like that. I usually just type it into the.
Yeah, you can search the Horn Austin on YouTube, but the Horn Austin is the name of the page. So if you search the Horn Austin on YouTube,
I was like, I've never actually even I didn't know you could give it to somebody like that. I'll just go there and search for it. But thank you for that, Hart. We appreciate it. Okay, so my favorite quote from Quinn Ewers at Big 12 Media Days. We got to get to this. So he was talking about, the expectations being really high, and that Texas now, of course, being picked to finish first in the Big 12, big target on the back of all the Texas players, Steve Sarkisian included. Here's what Quinn Ewers, starting quarterback, had to say about that target.
I mean, I think there's always a target on our back, but there's also a target on the opponents that we're playing. We put a target on them. It's kind of like John Wick. He's being hunted, but at the same time, he's hunting those guys as well.
Ooh-wee! Did he just drop a John Wick reference in regards to Texas mentality about being the hunted and now becoming the hunter? Mm-hmm. Well done there, son. Well done.
He let you know.
I can't help but start thinking Texas is going to win the Big 12 title. If we're making John Wick references, that means the mindset, they got a killer mindset, man. All right? It's about taking care of their business. I can see it now. In DKR Stadium, all right, on the Godzillatron, when they need to replay that quote, though. We need that quote in the hype video, all right, for all the fans in the stands. They need that quote in the hype video, and then right after that quote, we can just drop in with the hype video a little John Wick scene.
John is a man of focus, commitment, and sheer will. Something you know very little about. I once saw him kill 3 men in a bar with a pencil. With a pencil.
Appreciate that, Patrick. Yeah, if you haven't seen the John Wick movies, and I haven't seen the 4th one, by the way. Harge has.
I have.
And you're not a John Wick fan, though. You didn't appreciate it like you should have.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out how did we get to 4.
What do you mean? Because he's a badass. He can't be killed. He's awesome.
Hard.
Come on.
Because the first 3 made money.
Hey, that's right. That's like what did Ludacris say about all 1,000 of Fast and Furious?
Yeah, seriously.
Y'all keep watching.
They all should be, been in a car wreck or something.
John Wick movies are good to watch at a bar where there's no sound. Because you don't really need sound for a John Wick movie.
All action.
Hey, man.
You can just look up at the picture, listen to music, and be like, oh, yeah, it's another fight scene. Okay.
That's actually fair. I mean, you can get the gist of it. It's not like the dialogue doesn't reveal that much.
I think that's the bad guy. That's the good guy.
He's being hunted, yes, and a lot of people out there trying to kill him, and he's better at killing than the rest of the people are at killing him.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But it was all for a dog. They just messed with his dog. Sorry, spoiler alert.
Yeah. In case you hadn't seen all 20 of them.
It's just 4 of them. But I can see Longhorn fans now with the memes and the GIFs with John Wick scenes. With Quinn Ewers' face superimposed on John Wick's body, and I can see all in the hype video before the games at DKR. So Longhorn fans, make it happen. I think Texter already came up with the nickname.
They did.
Quinn Wick.
Quinn Wick. Print the shirts.
Run with it. Yeah,
print
Quinn
the
Wick,
shirts.
Baby. Yeah, I like that. That should be the unofficial mascot for Texas football this season is John Wick.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we going to handle it. Yeah, we may get a couple of stray bullets, coming at our head, but we going to duck them. We got, we got the bulletproof on. All right, and then we just gonna want that just like a badass by our damn self.
No doubt.
On our last run through the Big 12, taking everybody out.
Come on.
It's at the end of the movie, the only person left living and standing alive is John effing Wick.
I'm down with it,
and that's gonna be Texas football.
I'm down with that.
Thank you, Quinn. Yeah,
I'm down with it for sure.
Quinn Wick, baby.
Yeah.
All right. Now, if you don't play well, how we gonna flip this?
We can't do Jason. You know what I'm saying? We got to try to find somebody that gets finished off.
About it. No. He going to be the last one standing. Last man standing. My man Quinn Ewers. I like that. Okay, I wanted to get to the other Quinn Ewers interview with Craig Way. We'll save that and table that for next hour. We'll replay that for you. I promise you. If you want to get it now and you can't wait, just go to hornfm.com or go to the YouTube page, youtube.com/thehornaustin.
Mm-hmm.
You can find it there. So we're talking about Steve Sarkisian. Let's just stick with it with Sark for a moment, and because I think Quinn Ewers obviously a big part of this season is on how he performs, and there's a lot of belief. I heard Trent Dilfer talking about Quinn Ewers has a generational arm. He just needs more reps. He just needs more reps. He just needs more game time, and then he can potentially reach his ceiling as a player. But this season is a lot of it's about Sark. I heard Colin Cowherd actually, because it's Big 12 Media Day. So nationally, a lot of talk about the Big 12, a lot of talk about Texas because of their favorite to win the Big 12. And I heard Colin Cowherd talking about it. As a matter of fact, you sent us an Aggie. Olin Buchanan.
Olin Buchanan.
Can we have this, Patrick? Because this also, if the Aggies are talking about the Longhorns and the expectations that they're having, I think it's safe to say nationally the expectations are set. I don't know where Sark is talking about. There are some people saying that Texas gonna be bad this year. I don't know where he's finding them reports. I don't know where he's looking. I don't know. He need to look at some better websites. Yeah. Some more, right?
Unless you're just talking to somebody that don't follow teams.
Because even Texas haters are saying Texas is gonna be good.
I bet you can go on our text line and find it a few times.
You could, but they're not well informed all the time. They're just they got opinions.
That's what Sark's doing. He's going on our text line.
There you go.
And he's just like, look. This number with no name on it says we are overrated and probably win one game this year.
This egg on Twitter says we suck.
Exactly.
Look at it, guys.
Look, I told you.
7547 tweet.
He's got 3 followers, guys. That means 3 people heard that we're going to suck.
He thinks you suck. Well, here's Olin Buchanan, I believe is his name. Is it Texas that he's with?
Yeah, he's with Texas.
Listen, when your rivals are saying you're going to be good, I think that is the narrative that Texas is going to be pretty damn good.
Texas, I'm saying it today. If there's any Longhorns listen to us, I don't know why you are, but if you are, we appreciate it. But Texas absolutely should win the Big 12. If Texas does not win the Big 12, it is a colossal coaching failure.
Yeah.
But how many times have you seen Texas in the last 10 years should win the Big 12 and doesn't?
If they were to go 8-4 this year, again, right?
Yeah.
Is Sark their coach next year in the SEC?
Probably.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't think they'll acknowledge a mistake that soon.
Yeah.
They're Texas.
Now, if they go 7-5?
I think what happens with a bad year, unless it's just a complete collapse, that if they have a disappointing year, he gets on the hot seat for next year.
Okay, so when the Aggies and your rivals are saying you're good, you ain't got to agree with everything you said.
No.
Right? I'm just saying, I think the point of it is that even the Aggies are like, no, Texas is going to be good this year. They should win the Big 12. The last time Texas was picked to win the Big 12 by the media was 2009. It's been a really long time since the expectations have met the standard. So nationally, I'm hearing all of these debates about Sark, and pretty much this is the year where the jury's out on Sark. Right? We're going to try to figure out what's going on with Sark, because I think half of the people are Sark believers and they're in the Sark boat, and the other half are Sark haters. And I think equally right now, Sark haters and Sark believers, they have equal ammunition. They have right now both have valid debate. To me, they have valid arguments on both sides. That Sark is not a championship caliber coach. That Sark is just an above average coach, and that's what he's going to be. And people who are believers, they have there's ammunition for their arguments to say, no, Sark is on the cusp of breaking out. Look what he did at Washington. Look what he did at USC before the personal issues came to fruition. And then look what he's doing now at Texas. Everything is on the upper, trajectory. It's on the right trajectory. It's on the right path. And if Sark wins the Big 12 this year, competes for a Big 12 title, and they win double-digit games, all the Sark believers will be able to go, and they will, see It was so obvious. How did y'all Sark haters not see it? Look what he did at Washington. He turned around a program that was in the dumpster. Look what he did at USC. He was about to win the Pac-12 before some of his personal issues got the better of him. Once he conquered that, he went to Alabama, helped them win a national title, went to the NFL for a little bit too, but then came to Texas and brought Texas back. See? It was so obvious that Sark was on his way to being an elite coach. You idiots couldn't even see it. Can't see the forest for the trees. If he does not win the Big 12 and he wins 8 to 9 games and doesn't win double-digit games, then the Sark haters will have a similar argument. They'll say, see? How did y'all not realize it was obvious that he's an average coach? He's just a slightly above average coach, no matter how much talent he has at USC or at Texas or at Washington. It doesn't matter. He's only going to win so many games, never going to win double-digit games, never going to win a championship. That's him. That's the narrative. How could you not see it? It's so damn obvious, man. Get your head out of the sand.
Right.
Both sides.
Yeah, they're both going to have a heated debate.
And I think the debate will be over after this year.
Yeah, no doubt. That's where it is.
The debate ends after this season. That's the whole point.
That's where we've been sitting.
If he does not win double-digit game, doesn't compete for a Big 12 title, then the Sark haters will go, we were right. And the Sark believers will go, yeah, y'all were right. And if he wins a Big 12 title and
y'all
wins
going to be looking
games,
at me and saying, you were right.
All the Sark believers will go, I told you, we was right. And the Sark haters will go,
give him some time.
The Sark haters will go, you're right. We had to give him a little bit of time, man. Looks like Sark is that guy. He's that dude. This season will determine who wins, Sark haters or Sark believers.
Yep.
That's it.
And I'm on the Sark believer side. I'm more on that side of it, especially looking at this year's team, looking at how the messaging is what's really driving this home for me. Mm-hmm. The messaging of the top players, experienced players on your squad is stepping up to the forefront and easing my thought process right now.
Yeah.
So I'm in it. I'm on that group. I'm on that group.
I'm a believer.
Yep.
I'm a Sark believer. I'm in the camp that he's going to get it done this year, compete for a Big 12 title, win double-digit games, and we'll all go, you Sark haters. Mm-hmm. Man, look at the evidence in front of you. The evidence in front of your face says the man is a good to great coach.
Yep.
Right now, he's just an above-average coach.
And right now, people are questioning. They're like waiting for that finish line.
Just above average coach. That's all. Okay, we come back. We'll get into Raj round the day. A couple of more stats I want to share about Sark. Also, I saw that Patrick Mahomes won like athlete of the year, male athlete of the year, and the Kansas City Chiefs won team of the year. It got me going down a Patrick Mahomes rabbit hole, and I'm going to share some of this information. Man, before Shohei Ohtani started putting out these cartoonish, historic numbers, I don't know if there was an athlete in American pro sports that was more impressive than Patrick Mahomes and some of his cartoonish accomplishments. We'll share those when we come back right here on Ball Don't Lie, 104.9 The Horn. Hey, what's up, folks? Lifetime Longhorn, Rod Babers here. Let me tell you about my friends over at Ironworkers Local Union 482. Now, we all take the Austin skyline, the beautiful Austin appeal and aesthetic. We all take it for granted a little bit. And what you may not know is that the skilled craftsmanship of Ironworkers Local Union 482 have been helping shape Greater Austin since 1935. That's a really long time. And you see the labors of their love all over this great city in iconic, exquisite landmarks that you may be driving by right now and not even know it, like DKR Stadium and the Pennybacker Bridge. And as our city continues to grow and thrive, so does Ironworkers Local Union 482. They don't go to the office, they build it. So if you're looking for an exciting new career, you can become a valued member of this prestigious organization, Ironworkers Local Union 482, and you'll accept the challenge of becoming the best version of yourself while helping shape Austin's economic development. Right now, they're hiring over 3,000 people for a huge project right here in Central Texas, and you can become a valued member of this prestigious organization, Ironworkers Local 482, and take pride in the type of teamwork and craftsmanship that helps shape the future of our great city. So maximize your potential and be your best self today. Simply apply at ironworkers482.org. That's ironworkers482.org. All right, welcome back to Ball Don't Lie right here on 104.9 The Horn. When I saw that Patrick Mahomes won the male athlete of the year, and the Kansas City Chiefs were the team of the year, I decided to kind of go down a rabbit hole, just kind of looking at how unique and how truly dominant the Kansas City Chiefs run has been so far. And they brought me to my favorite Patrick Mahomes stat. So I got to bring this stat up again because it is my favorite. So my take on Patrick Mahomes has always been that he has a very unique X-Man ability, something that he does as well, if not better than everybody else. And, you hope your quarterback has some of those traits, something that sets them apart. And Patrick Mahomes got a ton of them, and that makes him the best quarterback in the league. But the one thing that he does better than any quarterback in NFL history already in the young part of his career is he has the best comeback ability of any quarterback in NFL history. Now, it's a combination of the offense he has and Andy Reid and that ability, but it's crazy how no lead is safe with Patrick Mahomes. And I've gone over these stats before, but they're just mind-blowing. So anytime I get a chance to bring them up, I bring them up because it is freakish how good he is when we already know he's great, but he's even better when he's coming from behind. We're talking about comebacks, even double-digit fourth quarter comebacks. I went and looked up, and this is one of my kind of favorite all-time stats about Patrick Mahomes. I went and looked at quarterbacks' double-digit deficits in the playoffs and compared all the greats, like at least all the greats in the modern era, and their records. None of the quarterbacks, whether you're talking about Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers or Drew Brees or Joe Montana or Brett Favre or Peyton Manning or Josh Allen or Joe Burrow or Lamar Jackson, none of those quarterbacks have a winning record in the playoffs after being down double digits. Patrick Mahomes is the only one. Double digits. When he's been down double digits in the playoffs, he's 4-2. 4-2.
Double digits. Think about that.
Double digit deficit against the best teams in the league, and he's got a 4-2 record. Tom Brady's 5-8. Tom Brady's the GOAT. He's got the greatest clutch gene in the history of the NFL. He's 5-8 in those situations.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable. I mean, Drew Brees was 1-8. Aaron Rodgers 2-6. Usually you get down double digits in the playoffs, it's done. You're down to a really good team. They're going to put their foot on your throat, and you are
keep rolling.
Over. Yeah.
Yep.
You might as well start making plans for next year, making vacation plans, not with Patrick Mahomes. And I started researching this stuff and keeping up with it, honestly, because of my trauma. With Patrick and I, our shared trauma of being Texans fans when the Texans were actually up 24 points at one point on Patrick Mahomes. And I'm sure people remember that. It was 24-point lead at one point on Patrick Mahomes. And he actually brought the Kansas City Chiefs back to take the lead before halftime after the Texans had a 24-point lead. To let you know how rare this trauma is that Patrick and I had to witness and be a part of, if you take the largest deficit kind of comeback wins in NFL history of take the deficit of at least 23 points. 23 points at least, all right, is the deficit you have to be down by to make it in this group. Out of all, going back to 1946, out of all the times a team has come back to win after being down 23 points, the Texans losing that lead to Kansas City in the playoffs is the only lead, all right, only a deficit, I should say, of 23-plus points that a team came back from to actually take the lead before halftime. No other team who has come back down from that much has taken the lead before halftime. The team that's up 23 points at least still leads at halftime. Maybe they're only up 10 points, maybe only up 13, maybe only up 6 or 7. No. The Texans lost a damn lead before halftime. That dude is superhuman. And I did research on it, and honestly, a lot of it comes from his time at Texas Tech. Because remember, there were 8 times over those 2015-16 seasons at Tech where he put up basically at least 35 points and lost. Remember that? Matter of fact, there were 4 losses in his career at Tech where he saw his team score 50 points and lose. Lose.
I think one of those games was against West Virginia, if I'm not mistaken.
Imagine scoring 50 points and losing.
Yeah.
Like that's traumatic. That's trauma. That's crazy. So I think honestly that really programmed him as a player that that no lead is ever safe. And also on the flip side, that no lead is ever obviously safe, period. But on the flip side of that, when he's down, all right, also, hey man, no lead is safe for you.
Right. Right.
No lead is safe for you either. He said, I kind of joke around about it sometimes, but I was kind of blessed to be in the Big 12 where you had to go and score. And if you threw in an interception, you got the ball back, you try to score again. I've kind of had that mindset where no matter what happens the last play, just focus on the next play. Unbelievable. I'll give you another crazy stat about Patrick Mahomes. That's his X-Man ability. That's what he does better than anybody else, and that's why they're going to be great. Even adding to that stat, another freaky stat, his winning percentage in games where his team is losing by double digits at any point, 200 points higher than any quarterback in NFL history. I repeat. His winning percentage in games where his team is losing by double digits is 200 points higher than any other quarterback.
Wow.
Even in his clutch gene, by the way, because obviously Tom Brady has the greatest clutch gene of all time. In fourth quarter comeback and / game-winning drive opportunities, meaning fourth quarter comeback or chance to have a game-winning drive, Tom Brady, 56% win percentage in those situations, and Patrick Mahomes is at 50%. He's right there. Actually, I take that back. I didn't include the playoffs this year. He's at 17 and 15, so he's 53%.
Right.
17 and 15 in those situations. He like I said, before Shohei Ohtani, we were throwing out all these crazy stats about Patrick Mahomes because they are just mind-blowing. And this is the crazy part about it. He has completely changed his game in like 3 years. He's not even the same quarterback he was when he first got into the league.
I agree with that 100%.
He's not even the same quarterback. I don't even recognize his play from when I watched film on him his first 2 years in the league. Here's the best example. When he came into the league, he was the best quarterback at connecting on the deep ball in the NFL. Nobody was even close.
I remember this.
All right? He was unbelievable. As a matter of fact, the stat is he led the NFL with 41 touchdown passes of 20-plus yards. He led the NFL with 41 touchdown passes this year. I take that back. This year. But he only had one of those 41 touchdown passes this year was of 20-plus yards in the air. Only one of them.
Wow.
Let that sink in.
And that was part of his game plan every single time. But now, do you think a lot of that had to do with Tariq being gone?
It could have been due to Tariq. That's a big part of it. But that to me is amazing. He threw the second most deep touchdown passes in the NFL over his first 4 years. And do you want to know what his average length of touchdown pass was? Like if you look at average length of touchdown pass in 2022, it was the lowest in the NFL of any starting quarterback. It was 4.5 yards in the air. His average touchdown pass was 4.5 yards in the air.
I think I got that in me.
To give you a little reference, Tua, 14.1. Josh Allen, 16.4. Aaron Rodgers, 12.9. Jalen Hurts, 18.5. Joe Burrow, 11.7. Dak, 9.4. Tom Brady, 8.1. Nobody is working the short game as well as Patrick Mahomes. He proved when he first got into the league he's the best deep ball quarterback in the league, and now he's proven he's the most efficient quick game, short game quarterback in the league too.
It helps losing Tyreek Hill, but also having yourself a Travis Kelce as well.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And
the improvisation that he comes up with too when they're close to the goal line.
He threw deep on a career low 8.2% of his passes in 2022. He's in 4 years completely changed his style of play. And by the way, how about
Keeps
this?
him healthier too.
Yeah, with him, like I said, 4.5 yards, air yards per touchdown throw, lowest in the NFL. And he only had one touchdown pass that traveled more than 20 yards in the air. But do you know who led the NFL in 20-plus yard plays? The Chiefs. Those stats don't make sense.
Right.
He only got one, right? He's got the fewest amount of deep passes. And he's only got one deep touchdown pass more than 20 yards, and yet they led the NFL in 20-plus yard plays. By a long stretch, too, by the way. Nobody's even close to him with 83.
Yeah.
The Chiefs are just stupid.
Yeah.
They're going to win the Super Bowl again this year.
You think? Patrick Mahomes said that.
I don't even think I know. It's just like, who's gonna stop the offense?
There is a lot of talent on that thing.
And by the way, guys,
I was just looking at it right now.
Yeah,
there's a lot that's on their team.
By the way, they just revamped the defense. They drafted 10 rookies and started 6 of them.
In the Super Bowl, right?
They're even starting 4 rookies in the secondary.
Yeah.
They revamped the O-line 2 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
They got a lot of. Don't forget, they just got Snacks on their team too.
Yeah.
Big Keandre Coburn.
Man, the rich get richer.
And what's our guy? The one that's the fake defensive player of the year in the Big 12.
Oh, Alex and Udike Uzoma.
Yeah, they got Felix. They got him too.
Forgot about that.
So going back to your point about some of the young players that they developed last year, and now they're adding more of those young players too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to take
And
him down.
Omenihu, by the way.
Oh, that Omenihu too?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So their defense, to your point, yeah, they got better.
Yeah. Just Patrick Mahomes. I mean, like I said, other than Shohei Ohtani, Patrick Mahomes stats are the most fun for me to go rabbit holing down. Like, I love going rabbit holing. One more random rabbit holing stat I found from Patrick Mahomes. How about this? Patrick Mahomes has the highest career playoff passer rating in NFL history. 107.4. And he has the highest career regular season passer rating in NFL history at 105.7. He currently has the record NFL history for passer rating in the playoffs and in the regular season.
He ain't done yet. Ain't that what Marcus Peters say? We ain't done yet.
Crazy.
That goes to your point.
Yeah.
They're about to win again. He ain't done yet.
Yeah, he ain't done yet. Second in all-time fourth quarter career passer rating.
Yep.
You don't want to know who's first.
Who is?
Deshaun Watson, actually.
He ain't been in the playoffs that long.
Deshaun Watson is first. Tony Romo, third.
Come on, man. Don't put that out there.
I'm just telling you,
Because I don't want people, because they're going to be like, see?
telling you.
Oh, Tony.
Fourth quarter passer rating.
Yeah.
Got him ahead of like Aaron Rodgers. Kirk Cousins. He's ahead of Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady.
You know why?
How about this?
Because we're always behind in the
No,
fourth quarter.
Because they're playing against prevent defenses. They're down 35.
Exactly.
How about this? All-time fourth quarter career passer rating. Tony Romo and Dak Prescott make the top 10.
Well, that's because we're always behind. And to Patrick's point, they playing prevent.
Isn't that crazy? I know. Sorry, Cowboys fans. That probably made me feel good.
It did not. And they got Anthony Cook. Thank y'all for pointing it out. So
Shout
Anthony
out.
Cook there
DB
too.
High.
That's right.
All right, we come back. We'll get in. We'll play some Lil Wayne for you. Lil Wayne, his remix of a Millie, the ESPYs remix. We'll play that for you on the side right here on Ball Don't Lie. Wonderful, none. Welcome back. Ball Don't Lie right here on 104.9 The Horn. The new theme for New Theme Thursday, it's all about the walk-up music, the walk-up jams from our man Hardball Harris during his playing days on the Diamond.
That's right.
Oh, man. Lil Jon
and the East Side Boys.
But this is a combo. Who else on there with him? Somebody's
Ludacris
on
is
this with
out
him.
there.
Yeah, this was back on that, what do they call it, crunk rock?
Day. That was crunk days.
Yeah, man, getting crunk. Nobody got crunk like Lil Jon and East Side Boys.
They did not.
This probably would have been on my
China White. China White was in there too.
That's legit, man. So we were playing some of Hardy's favorite walk-up songs. He had a lot of them because he played a long time. Some of his favorite walk-up songs. And I got to say, I don't think you've missed yet.
I've been working on it, man.
I don't think you've missed yet. All these songs would have made my pre-game hype list.
Yeah.
In my on my music, on my playlist.
You like that beat right there. That's
Yeah.
what it's all about right there. As soon as you get that beat, you're like, woo.
That's legit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Hard's gonna keep the party going. Thanks to my man Patrick, the Idillionaire, on a new theme Thursday. Also, Hard sent us this because he got a chance to catch the ESPYs, and he was telling me about Lil Wayne's remix of A Milli, and apparently the remix was also recreated to make it a little bit more relevant to and recent to all of the sports headlines from the ESPYs. So I want to get into this a little bit. So this is interesting. So Patrick, we have this sound here. Is this Lil Wayne? Lil Weezy?
Lil Weezy F baby, please say the baby.
Tunchi?
Yeah, Tunchi, Lil Tunchi.
Why does he call himself Tunchi? What is the Tunchi?
Because he's always tuning in the music. You know what I'm saying?
But it's spelled, I don't know.
Yeah,
I still don't know the genesis of the Tunchi thing. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie. If you know the genesis of the Tunchi, please let us up. Let us know on the Specs text line. But he actually changed up the lyrics to A Milli at the ESPYs. I hadn't heard it. Then Hard let me hear a piece of it. And I thought it was pretty cool. So here is Lil Wayne at the ESPYs.
Let's go. A millionaire, I'm a young money millionaire, tougher than Nigerian hair. My criteria compared to your courageous isn't fair, and I'm over New Orleans like an angel. Recent no pencil elite on the sheet, but the tablet in my mind God is good. DeMar Hamlin doing fine. In the second minutes, I would go to the almighty dollar in the almighty power of the chopper, sister, brother, son, daughter, mother. Y'all can call me Papa, but my Uncle Prime got me out there with Colorado. Tell them they can't catch them, they can't stop us. I go by them gurus. If you can't beat them, then you pop them. Can't man them, then you mop them. Can't stand them, then you drop them. You pop them cause we pop them. Like we coaching with Banyama. Stop that playing. Hands up,
all right. That's pretty good. He did say, we say pop him like I'm coaching Wembanyama.
Like I'm coaching Wembanyama.
I said that his wordplay is among the best in hip hop. He's 40 years old now, and he's still got some top 5 wordplay.
Yeah,
his wordplay
he
is
still
unbelievable.
mixes it up, and the fact that he was able to perform that, because I saw him there, but they never said that he was going to perform, and then they brought him out to do that, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, among the hip hop artists out there, he has been an open avid sports fan.
No doubt.
Like he's been on with
he has some
Skip
about
Bayless
the Packers.
before.
He has some about the Packers in there as well.
Yeah.
He was talking about in one part of that right there. He put Deion Sanders in there talking about he got me out there in Colorado as well. So he's good, man. He is good.
Wheezy. All right, no, so there you go. Appreciate Harge hipping us to that. I actually didn't. I didn't watch it, but I did hear about that highlight from Wheezy. All right, we come back. We'll get into more Big 12 Media Days coverage. We'll play the audio from Craig Wade's interview with Quinn Ewers. We'll come back and talk about what Sark needs to do, what he needs to improve on to become a championship coach and take his game to the next level. We'll also get back into that Shohei Ohtani to the Rangers discussion. That is a national conversation now. Hopefully, it becomes a more realistic conversation for the Rangers fans out there. All that and more right here on Ball Don't Lie on 104.9 The Horn. Welcome back to Ball Don't Lie right here on 104.9 The Horn. Oh, a little DMX on a new theme Thursday. If you haven't heard by now, the new theme of the day, all of my man Hart, not all of them, some of his favorite walk-up songs during his pro-playing career on the Diamond. He had a lot of them, and he hasn't missed yet.
Yeah.
DMX. Oh, man. DMX probably has the most one of the most recognizable voices.
For sure.
In all of hip-hop.
For sure.
No doubt about that.
Especially because most of the time he walks out, it's just starts growling at you, and you're like, uh-oh, that's X.
I want to say
because X gonna give it to you.
Yeah, right. And DMX has one of the great I want to say the DMX, like his intro, like into like his persona that was born, like the guy we know as DMX, who had the dogs all the time, the Rough Rider DMX, shirt off, tattooed up, that DMX, the voice and everything. Like it's crazy. I swear you can go look this up. I believe this is a DMX story that he told. I read it years ago. That he said the reason that he started getting into like big into dogs because he broke into a junkyard. I don't know, maybe we should look this story up and get all the details right. He broke into a junkyard, and there were junkyard dogs there that were obviously tasked with guarding the junkyard there. They were literally junkyard dogs. And when he came in there, basically he was able to tame the junkyard dogs. And then basically, like, then he got the respect of a lot of his peers because he basically went in there, instead of the junkyard dogs tearing him apart limb from limb, he basically was able to tame them and become masters of the junkyard dog.
It sounds like a Spider-Man villain origin story.
It does. It sounds like it. Exactly. It's exactly what it sounds like. I'll go look that story to make sure I got the details right. But it was it's like he was a kid. He was like a teenager, like a preteen. And that's kind of he's like, he was getting into trouble and stuff. And he got his persona from being like a Rough Rider dog guy because he broke into a junkyard. I don't know. He broke into a junkyard.
Because it is not a game.
But DMX, man, DMX has got a lot of crazy stories associated with DMX. I remember Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Was talking about DMX, and he said he basically he told everybody basically like, nah, man, DMX, this one dude that he didn't want to follow. He said that, like, I don't want to follow him on stage
because he puts on a show.
Yeah, like basically when DMX is done with the crowd, you don't want to have to go out there to that crowd.
Yeah,
because basically they go look at you like, man, that's it. That's all you got? You gonna just rap? Because DMX is out there
putting on a
sweating,
show.
And yeah, it's a whole different, vibe and theme. And I remember Jay-Z saying, I followed him once and I'll never do it again. Like, he was the opening act. He was like, opening act for Jay-Z? And he was like, man, I'll never have to do my opening act. Not because he wasn't awesome, honestly because he did too good of a job out there.
That's exactly who he is.
The crowd, instead of warming up the crowd, they wanted more DMX. Yeah. So, DMX is a little bit, rest in peace. All right. The late, great DMX for sure.
I actually got a chance to watch DMX, went to a concert. My cousin was a promoter, and DMX did a concert here in Austin. And let me just tell you, that was the livest concert that I've ever been to in my life. That's why I know firsthand his energy is different.
Yeah.
He is a different dude.
Yeah, no, that's like I said. Jay-Z said he's like, I would never follow that guy again.
Yeah,
I think he pulled him from the opening act after that was it's like part of folklore and legend.
He's like, man,
he was a young dude.
Yeah.
He was a young lad, and Jay-Z was already established. And Lil Tunechi, thanks for the texter. Who's the texter that gave us basically the Lil Tunechi background?
Right there.
Also, according to this texter, says according to search results, the origin of the nickname Tunechi for Lil Wayne appears to be traced back to Lil Wayne's grandmother Mercedes Carter, who gave him the nickname Lil Tune. In an interview with Katie Couric, Lil Wayne said that he added Chi to the end of the nickname, shortening his last name to create Tunechi. The nickname has since become a slang term used by fans of Lil Wayne. There you go. Beautiful thing. Lil Wayne. I mean, Lil Wayne's got a weird backstory to it. Everything, like him and Baby and everything.
Oh,
and,
man,
their relationship.
I watched something the other night on him and talked about how he got saved. After his house was shot up by the police. They kicked in the doors.
Yeah.
And they got him, and he took him to the hospital and saved his life, or else he might have bled to death.
That's crazy.
When he was a kid.
He was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so your walk up music.
Yes.
I gotta tell you, your artist that you picked was on point too.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Weezy had Lil Jon and East Side Boy as well. Oh, and CB pointed out that Lil Jon has a show on HGTV. Is that real?
What's it called?
Yeah. Okay.
That's what it is.
HGTV. That's real. I need to see this show. of Lil Jon on HGTV.
Yeah, I definitely
CB
would
would
look for
not
that.
lead us astray.
No, he wouldn't.
CB also wants to remind us that Lil Wayne signed Malik Jefferson
That's
to his
true.
sports agency when Malik left Texas. Yeah. Yeah, he says that has a different agent. I
The
will
show
admit,
is called Lil Jon Wants to Do What?
was that the name of the show?
That is the name of the show. Coming back for season 2.
Whoa! Is he the
Season
same
2.
persona? Does he have the get up on, like the dread still? And,
Yeah.
Wow.
Interesting.
Okay. See, what I've always said about hip hop artists, you have to transition.
You do.
You cannot be
Ice Cube.
You cannot be a grandfather up there rapping about pimping and doing drugs and going to the club and making it rain and handling. You can't do that. You're a grandfather now. You can't do that. So once you get to be in your mid to late 40s and going to your 50s, like Harsh mentioned, Ice Cube, Ice-T.
Yep.
Went from making songs called Cop Killers, he's now Detective Tutuola.
Yeah.
All right, there you
Yeah.
go.
Yep.
And Ice Cube, same thing. You have to transition. You can't do that forever. It's like, you can't strip forever too. There's some professions, you can't do it forever. You can only do it in your youth, like being a running
Yep.
back. Like
Yep.
you can only do it for so long. Your shelf life is really short.
I was supposed to say they already trying to cut your contract. If
Yeah.
you're a running back.
You're
Yeah.
a 45-year-old rapper, man. You're basically geriatric.
You selling your catalog
You're
nowadays.
a senior citizen,
Yep.
yeah. So you got to transition. Hey, go be an actor. Now, what's his name? Common? Dude,
Yep.
Common don't even rap anymore.
A smart.
He just acts. He's in like a show I was watching called
T.I. is trying to
Silo.
do comedy.
Yeah, T.I. is trying to.
He's coming here at the end of the
yeah,
month.
you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to find a
You
plan
gotta
B.
find. Yeah, you got.
They like athletes in a sense.
They do?
There's some genres of music you can do well into your 60s and your 70s and still perform. Like rock and roll artists do that. They perform all the time. 60s and 70s still going there. R&B artists, same thing. Yeah,
Yep.
but I think pop is like that too. You can't do pop. Like you age out of pop.
Yeah.
Right, you age out of
You
pop, and you
definitely
kind
age
of
out of it.
age out of hip hop a little bit too. Hard to be a 50-year-old hip hop artist touring around thinking, "Oh man, I'm gonna sell out all these shows." Probably not. Probably not.
You're probably not gonna do it.
Old hip hop artists like an old stripper. Yeah, you may have a few people that like it, but not many. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So, all right. Anyway, let's get to Quinn Ewers' interview with my man Craig Way, the voice of the Longhorns. You sat down with him yesterday. The trip courtesy of our good friends at Hayes City Store and Warren Source Gas. So I appreciate them for sponsoring our Big 12 Media Days expedition there. But we also end up getting a lot of sound. So courtesy of our man Craig Way on with Light the Tower, he and Jeff Howe got a chance to sit down with Quinn Ewers, the starting quarterback of the Texas Longhorns.
The last time I saw you in this building, I was calling a state championship game. Do you have memories and stuff about this? I know you've been in here other times than that before, but I mean, what goes through your mind when you walk into this building?
Oh, just how big it is, probably. I mean, this place is huge, and obviously, growing up in Texas, you wanted to end up playing the last game of the season here. So ultimately, it's kind of the same way when you're playing in the Big 12. You want to play here towards the end of the season, maybe not the end, but towards the end. So. And obviously, I didn't just play the state championship here. I played a fellow teammate of mine, Byron Murphy, against DeSoto here. I think it was the second round of the playoffs. But I mean, there's so many good memories here. Just with the South Lake Carroll green, I can just see it in the stands, man. No, there's so many memories here with just kids I grew up with, my buddies I grew up with. I mean, it's not far from home for sure.
How different is it for you, Quinn, a year ago to now? I mean, you're still competing every day with Malik and with Arch, but now, I mean, you've got some starting experience under your belt. You've got a full year in the program. You're not having to meet teammates anymore. You're acquainted with everybody. Just your comfort level now compared to where you were a year ago.
I mean, yeah, obviously it's going to grow whenever you've been in the system for a year and you've known guys that you've been around them for a whole year. And you've made great friendships. I mean, it just makes everything a whole lot easier. Definitely comfort level has gone way up for sure, even in the weight room and out on the field when Coach Beckton's got us, running. So, I mean, it's just been a whole lot easier for me. So, yeah.
Sark has talked about confidence in relation to that. How do you feel from a confidence standpoint? Is that something you feel growing? Is it just kind of second nature type stuff? Where are you at with confidence right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely growing for sure. I feel like I've had a great spring. I had a great spring ball and in winter and, summer workouts are going great. PRPs are going great. I mean, it's only growing. So I'm excited to see where I'm at after fall camp. And I couldn't be more excited for this year. I'm ready.
Everybody likes to talk about the leaner, meaner Quinn, that kind of deal. I mean, how much work did it take for you to get comfortable, not only about your physical stat, but like Jeff said, with the confidence, with everything else, with the game, the familiarity? I mean, that's an evolved process over time, isn't it?
No, 100%. Like you said, it took me pretty much all of winter to kind of get comfortable with where I was at, football and just physically wise. It took me a lot of work. Definitely had to eat a whole lot better than what I was eating like.
What did you eat before that you don't eat now?
I used to eat a whole bunch of Chick-fil-A. I don't eat a whole lot of Chick-fil-A anymore. So Chick-fil-A was my go-to.
Was it?
Yeah. It was hard to kind of step away from that, but it's been good. I feel so much better mentally and physically. So, yep.
Quinn, as you look at this team, you've been with these guys all summer after spring ball, and we got a good look at you guys in the spring game. What excites you the most about this 2023 team?
What excites me the most is something that's not even on the field, just the relationships we've built throughout this time. I mean, all these guys, we're all in the same boat and we're rowing together this year. We're not rowing against each other. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited to see what we do on the field and what we do off the field. As a team. I mean, I feel like all of us has grown so much closer this past season or this past year, and I couldn't be more excited to see what we're capable of.
In that sense of everybody rolling together, every report that's come out talks about how you and Malik and Arch have really worked closely together and kind of gotten to know each other better. Is that an accurate way to describe it?
Yeah, it's definitely accurate. But the whole QB room, I mean, I'm so blessed to be in such a good QB room. I mean, nobody's trying to, find ways around or throw somebody under the bus, and there's none of that. I mean, we're all in it together, and we have such a good time. Those are like my best friends on the team. So, because I'm with those guys all the time, and, we get along so well. It's rare, honestly, for everyone to kind of be the same and act the same.
Do you get along with that dude right there? Right there behind you there?
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes, no. I mean, we have a great relationship. Both of us have kind of grown up together in the system. He was here a year earlier than me, but, I feel like we've kind of seen each other grow, which ultimately just makes us, want to grow together.
All right, Quinn, here's the big question everyone wants to know. Whose idea was it to take the picture of you guys showing off the abs in the locker room? And did you expect that thing to blow up the way it did?
Honestly, I didn't expect it to blow up. I didn't even expect it to get posted. But, when Malik, showed us kind of what he did with the post, I was like, yeah, go ahead. It was funny. But, no, we made this idea, months ago. We were like, hey, we're all going to stay after. We're going to hit abs. We're going to hit arms. We're going to take a picture, June 30th before our July 4th week break. I mean, we set a goal and we wanted to hit the goal, and it kind of gave us, some motivation.
Well, I appreciate you stopping by. I know you got a busy day and all that stuff. I look forward to calling your games this year again. I appreciate you taking the time to join us.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
All right, that's Quinn Ewers, Longhorns quarterback.
That is Quinn Ewers, the Longhorns quarterback, sitting down with the voice of the Longhorns, Craig Way, a gentleman and a scholar, as you guys know. First of all, the Chick-fil-A comment. Chick-fil-A's his go-to. At least we know that.
Yep.
That's his go-to. You actually, we had Xavier Worthy on. You found out one of Xavier Worthy's go-to favorite chicken items.
That's right. He goes to Cover 3. Shout out to Cover 3. Sponsors of the Hard Knocks Life. He goes to Cover 3 and he ordered the chicken strips with a side of buffalo sauce every time. And he started laughing when we asked him about it.
He was taken aback. He was a little bit like, what? How do you know that,
He's
man?
like, man, what you talking about, man?
Y'all do crazy research.
That's
right. We do deep dives.
Deep dive, man. We're going rabbit holing. But yeah, that's good. So I thought that was interesting. So I don't know if that's going to end up being an NIL deal for him or not. It seems like he said they can just mention a company and either start some NIL deal or maybe at least get some conversations started that way. But Chick-fil-A, I do feel him on that. I love me some Chick-fil-A too. So
what do you call them?
A little bigoted bites of Jordan.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Because we all Americans and we love Chick-fil-A. Okay, It is the top fast food chain in America.
Why do we always ask for it on Sunday though?
It's closed on Sunday.
I know. Why do we always think it's open?
Because we want what we can't have.
Exactly.
Chick-fil-A smart enough to know they deprive us that one day. That's the one day we wake up going,
you know what? I'm going over there on Monday. No! I'm going to go over there on Monday. Hey, I got my mouth all ready for some Chick-fil-A.
I know. Actually, you guys brought up right. Chick-fil-A does not need Quinn Ewers. Chick-fil-A actually still I believe, makes more revenue, produces more profit than any other fast food chain, and they're closed one day of the week on the weekend.
No doubt.
Could you imagine they violated their moral compass and opened up on Sunday, how much bread they can make? But they never will because, hey, they're all about the good Lord.
That is smart.
And representing the good book, damn it.
That's
and
smart.
give Sunday off. So, so shout out to Chick-fil-A. And then also he brought up, and I love this part when they asked him, I think it was Jeff Howe that asked him, what he's looking forward to this year and, what he's most proud of this upcoming season. He talked about the brotherhood. Right. How close they are as a team. I love that. That does matter. I don't know how much it'll quantify in terms of getting wins on the field, but you gotta care enough about your teammates to want to play for the man to your right and the man to your left, or woman to your right or left, whoever, to care about your teammates. And it seems like they have that. They do seem like they care about each other. And there's a lot of talk. All the guys are saying they're having fun. Even Sark talks about how much fun it is to be around this team because he likes the team that much. And by the way, every coach, they won't admit it. They don't like all their teams.
No.
Mac Brown famously, he would admit, I think there was at 06, 017.
Yeah.
He would admit, like, he
wasn't feeling it.
You love all your children. You don't like all your children. All right? you love them all because they're your children. I mean, you got to like all your children. Y'all know y'all like one of your kids more than the other. Hearts, don't say nothing. But you all know you like one of your kids more than you love them all equally, but you like one more than you like the other one.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, this team. Sark likes this team. He likes it. He likes being around it.
He likes it a lot.
He keeps talking about how it's his team. It looks like him. It talks like his team. Runs like his team. Lifts like his team. Hope they play like his team.
Yeah, we are begging for it to be like that.
Yeah, and the indictment on Sark is going to happen this year. For the Sark believers or the Sark haters, they're going to get their proof one way or another. This year, they're going to get the ultimate ammunition and end the debate whether Sark is a good to a great coach or if he's just an average or above average coach. Then, ultimately, I do think for Sark, he's been, now I'm not saying he wants to smoke, but he has been saying basically his team looks the way I want it.
Right.
He's got the team exactly the way he wants it. So I think it is fair to say, well, if this team underachieves, it is Sark's team.
It is.
And it's Sark.
Oh.
It'd be like
I know what you said.
It's damn right it's a Sark team.
Yeah.
This is exactly what I thought it would be. A team that wins 8-9 games and falls a little bit short.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's a Sark team, a team that plays for titles and wins double-digit games. If this is the ultimate Sark team, then at the end of the season, we'll have a conclusion as to what kind of coach Sark is.
Yeah. This is what we've been talking about. This is what we've been waiting for. We've always said that the talent has traveled to the University of Texas year in and year out. All of the problems that have happened with this team, there are going to be some schematic deals that we need to work out. There's going to be some failures by players. It's human nature. But it always comes back to what happens on that sideline and who is leading it. And if he can go out there and change the narrative, I loved your analogy of those that love him, those that hate him. You're going to be able to find a different way to go about it starting this year.
Yeah,
this is the deciding factor.
It is. The debate ends, I think, about Sark this season, and it'll be a debate that ends with us saying, "Oh man, Sark is a good coach on his way to being a great coach."
Yep.
Or the debate would end with saying he's an average coach that can be above average with the right team.
With the right, yep.
And
I'm with you on that.
I think it's the former. And I hope it's the former.
I'm riding with him. Let's go, Sark.
Riding with you. And
come on, man.
If Quinn Ewers plays at the level that most people anticipate and expect him to play at, then Texas should be competing for a Big 12 title. And the attitude and mentality of Quinn Ewers has to be right. It's got to be on point. He's got to lead a locker room of alpha males and guys who came to Texas for two reasons: to win championships, all right?
Right.
And play with other great players. Also go to the league, so 3 times.
Yeah, I like that third one.
Well,
too.
4 makes NIL money. I just keep adding to the list now. But you get my point. He's got to lead that room of alpha males, and he's got to do it with a certain mentality. And I think the mentality may be on point. My favorite quote. Shout out to Jeff Jones, because Jeff Jones the one that I got it that we got it from, got the audio from. But this is Quinn Ewers. My favorite quote from Big 12 Media Days, talking about the target that Texas always has on their back, but how they're going to deal with the target on their back this year.
I mean, I think there's always a target on our back, but there's also a target on the opponents that we're playing. We put a target on them. It's kind of like John Wick. He's being hunted, but at the same time, he's hunting those guys as well.
Nice.
That's what I'm talking about, Quinn. I love it. Texas already called him Quinn Wick. Shout out to my man Jeff Jones at Jeff Jones Sports of KView. It's where I got the audio. But I love that quote. All right, that's my favorite quote from Big 12 Media Days 2023. I'm going to take it. We're going to run with it. I'm hoping there are hype videos made at DKRS Stadium of it. I'm hoping Longhorn fans are making memes and GIFs with John Wick scenes with Quinn Ewer's face superimposed on there. All that would be great. And
I know y'all are listening over there.
I know y'all listening.
Yep.
And the unofficial mascot for Texas football this year, it's going to be Quinn Wick, baby.
I like
It's going to
it.
be John Wick. And that's how we going to be, just like in a John Wick movie. Although we're going to be taking on a lot of different enemies from all different angles, bullets flying by our head, all that. Hey, we're going to come out in the end, last man standing.
Haters going to hate. Just go out there and perform. That's it.
I love it.
I like it.
I like the John Wick.
I like it.
I like the John Wick analogy. So unofficial mascot, John Wick for Texas football this year.
And just think
Make
about
it
it.
happen.
Quinn just coming out there and just like, boom, here we go. Let's just make this happen. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
I'm with it, man. Okay, so we'll get to, matter of fact, if you missed any of those interviews or you missed any part of them and you want to hear them in their entirety or you want to watch them in their entirety, you can watch them at the YouTube channel at The Horn Austin on YouTube, or you can go to hornfm.com and you can catch up with them there. Also, shout out to our good friends at Hayes City Store and One Source Gas for sponsoring our trip to Big 12 Media Days. All right, this is a stat I want to share about Sark. Something he's got to remedy.
Come on.
He's got to rectify this. So, last season in quarters 1 through 3, Texas outscored their opponents by 179 points combined in the first 3 quarters.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to know what that number was in the fourth quarter?
They were probably negative 45.
No, negative 12.
Negative 12. Okay, good.
Yeah, so-
That's not that
good.
bad. I'm saying that's
Yeah,
not
good.
that bad. Well, I was thinking negative 45. That
That's
says
not
a lot. So
yeah, either way,
I got you.
Shouldn't be
negative.
And by the way,
ever.
negative 12 is not terrible, but for Texas, when you go back and look at the games in which they were outscored in the fourth quarter, Bama outscored in the fourth quarter. Tech outscored by 10 in the fourth quarter. West Virginia, you were outscored, but you were blowing them out, so it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Oklahoma State, you were outscored by 14 in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
K-State, you were outscored by 7, and you were almost lost that game, made some clutch plays. And there were 3 games where you failed to outscore your opponent in the fourth quarter. So it's a push, if you will. That would be TCU, had a chance to win, but couldn't make enough plays. That would be Iowa State. Man, if not for the defense late making those clutch plays,
Very
or
clutch.
Xavier Hutchinson dropping a potential touchdown pass, Texas loses that game too. So Texas failed to outscore their opponents in the fourth quarter in 8 of 13 games.
Wow.
So in 8 of the 13 games, Texas failed to outscore their opponent in the fourth quarter. Now, they weren't always outscored. Like I said, sometimes it was just 0. There was a push. TCU, Iowa State, Louisiana Monroe. But if you go look at the 5 losses for Texas, if you go look at that 5 losses they had, they were outscored in the fourth quarter in 4 of those 5 losses.
Wow.
So,
I mean, that's the adjustments that are happening. Third quarter, they still score points. Fourth quarter is the one that you really have to make sure that you buckle down and make those adjustments. You heard Sark during Big 12 Media Days talking about that they do that self-evaluation. Where did I go wrong? What did I do? Where is that moment where I need to make sure that I'm better? These kids are working hard. They're making the adjustments. And he even said, I can call better plays when I have better athletes, right? The plays look so much better. I'm just saying.
He's right.
He's not wrong, but 2 things can be right, but you have to be better in the fourth quarter because teams are making the adjustments. And if your team is coming down and you were giving out, what was that, fourth quarter come from behind win stats on the NFL quarterbacks and what Patrick Mahomes has been able to do, but you also have to look at what your quarterback is able to do, and are you putting him in the right position to be successful? Are you calling the right play? Are you adjusting to what the defense is adjusting to you with?
Yeah, there's I keep bringing up and using the term, the chess match within the game. Sark is awesome at preparation and game plan. He's actually one of the best coaches in the country. Preparation and game plan, but that only takes you so far. Usually middle of the first quarter, maybe the end of the first quarter. By then, your script is done, and then the other 3 quarters are basically a chess match. that you are matching wits and trying to outwit your opponent, your opposing coach on the other sideline. And for Sark, I think that's where he falls behind a little bit. And I just gave you the fourth quarter numbers. Texas, failing to outscore their opponent in 8 of the 13 games in the fourth quarter and being outscored by 12 points in the fourth quarter, even though they've outscored their opposing teams by 179 points in the first 3 quarters combined. So for me, that's the biggest issue for Sark. He's got to learn to better anticipate the adjustments of the opposing coaches and come up with creative counters to those adjustments. And I think by the end of the game in the fourth quarter, he's out of ideas. He's out, and honestly, I think, I got a lot of ideas to help him, but he should replay the hits. He does not replay the hits a lot. Meaning the very successful plays and concepts that work in the first quarter, but we all go, ooh, that was really cool. Man, look at that play. Look at the design on it. Look at all the pre-snap motions and the shifts. Oh, man, that's a really cool play. And you never see it again.
Right.
And you go, run it again. Worked the first time. Run it again. If it doesn't work the second time, okay, then we get it. They figured it out, and the defense is on to you. But they may not be on to you.
Most of the time, they're not.
Play the hits, man.
Yeah.
So I do think that's a big part of it for Sark. And hopefully bringing in Paul Christ, bringing in Joe DeCamillis, bringing in Payam Sadat, those guys will help him self-scout and better anticipate those adjustments because, when he plays a coach that's considered just an average coach, meaning they win less than 60% of the games, he wins 76% of the time.
Yep.
But when he plays a coach who's considered a good coach or an above average, a good to a great coach, I should say, who wins 60% of their games or more, he's has a less than 40% winning percentage. So he's winning 75% or more of his games versus below to average coaches, and he is winning only 40% or fewer of his games versus coaches who are considered good to great coaches.
Yeah.
That's it in a nutshell, folks. He's got to learn how to match wits with good to great coaches, not average to above average coaches. He right now is a slightly average. He's an average to a above average coach.
Yep.
And he's never gonna
That's
take
what
it
the
to another
numbers
level.
say. Yeah, that's
He's
what the numbers say.
55%.
Yeah, that's what the numbers say.
That's
There's
his
no
win percentage.
line.
Yeah, I'm just giving you numbers.
He's giving you numbers.
To this year, he's got to take his games. And by the way, he's one-score games. He's 2-5 in one-score games in 2022. Got to win more of those.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he lost to Bama, Tech, and Oklahoma State by a combined 12 points. That's great, but we are not Aggies, and moral victories don't count. So I know you want credit for that, for staying in the game versus Bama, and we all were happy, but the truth is that's a moral victory.
Yep.
And here, we don't celebrate those.
Nope.
Unfortunately.
No doubt.
So go to Bama this year and lose by 2 points. Don't expect to come here to a parade.
Right.
Expect to come here, people throwing stuff at your head.
We're not going to put you on the top. We're trying to figure out a way to throw you over.
He's going to be like, other people came in to meet us. No, they're throwing stuff at us. Guys, run. All right. We come back. We'll talk about Shohei to the Rangers on the other side, right here on Ball Don't Lie, 104 Down the Horn. Hey, what's up, folks? Lifetime Longhorn Rod Davis here. Austin is a beautiful city. It's why we all call it home. That's why we love it so much. But part of the beauty is thanks in no small part to the skilled craftsmanship of Ironworkers Local 482. They've been helping shape Greater Austin since 1935. That's a long, long time. And you see the labors of their love all over this great city in iconic, exquisite landmarks. You may be driving by them right now and not even know it. DKR Stadium, the Pennybacker Bridge. And as our city continues to grow and thrive, so does Ironworkers Local Union 482. They don't go to the office. They're the ones building the office. So if you're looking for an exciting new career, maybe you want something fresh, something new. Maybe you're frustrated with your career path, and maybe you want to be a valued employee. Well, you can go to our good friends at Ironworkers Local 482, and you can become a valued member of this prestigious organization and accept the challenge of becoming the best version of yourself while helping shape Austin's economic development. Right now, they're hiring over 3,000 people for a huge project right here in Central Texas, and you can become a member of Ironworkers Local 482 and take pride in the type of teamwork and craftsmanship that help shape the future of our great city. So maximize your potential and be your best self today. Simply apply at ironworkers482.org. That's ironworkers482.org. Welcome back to Ball Don't Lie right here on 104.9 The Horn. New theme Thursday, and the theme, it's all about my man Hardball over here. Hardball Harge's walk-up songs, some of his walk-up songs. He played a long time, so some of his favorite walk-up songs from his career on the Diamond. Lil Nelly. This is actually... Okay, I see why you chose it though.
Yeah.
Because I'm number one.
Yeah, I am number one. That's
I see
right.
why you chose it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I get it.
You're just gonna say, man, this is one of those that I'm trying to figure out how it fit.
I was about to say, well, I was about to say it's not one of. I think they've all been bangers. This is probably one that wouldn't have made my pregame hype playlist, but the I am number one maybe. I got a lot. Then some Nelly would have made it though.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, Nelly would have been on there a couple of times.
You'd have been stomping in your Air Force Ones.
Yeah, Nelly was on there a few times, man. Now Nelly, actually, we were just talking about how rappers have to transition and cross over, like, Snoop and hanging out with Martha Stewart now, and Lil Jon doing shows on HGTV, and now Jay-Z's just a billionaire. Yeah, right. But Nelly's doing, like, fusion hip-hop country music.
Yeah, he's making the rounds. He's traveling, playing festivals.
That's his passion. It's to fuse hip hop and country, and he's going out of his way to do it. He's got a couple of jams out there, but yeah.
But wouldn't he be? Now, here's the question for me with Nelly and his fusion, and there's always that concert where you have your group coming out there, and then the other groups that come out there. So, is he the opener or is he the closer?
No, I think he's actually like the music. They do songs together. They collaborate.
Like that many songs?
Yeah, like if you've ever been to like
collabos.
Like any one of those clubs that caters to country music, they play hip hop and country all the time.
But you only get two songs.
People dance to them.
Yes.
But they'll go back and forth and in between. And I think he just saw that and was like, I can do that.
Yeah. No, he did. I mean, what's I forget his name now. That was just like the song, basically, that was like a really popular song that Billy Ray Cyrus was on.
Over and over again.
Billy Ray Cyrus? Yeah. What was it? With who? What's the rap artist?
It was Nelly.
No. It was recent.
Lil Nas X.
Lil Nas X. Thank you. Sorry, I sound like an old man. It was not cool. But I don't listen to Lil Nas X. But that was like the country rap fusion. Yeah, that's what they're talking about, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's probably the most popular one of all time, probably. But
for sure.
That's what Nelly wants to do more of that. I don't know if he's going to be successful. But I would say country and hip-hop do have a lot of common like traits.
Mm-hmm.
Both are big on storytelling. There's a gangster rap element to hip-hop that's kind of taken over. And I love the, kind of the country, like it's not gangster country, but it's like an outlaw country.
Right.
I love outlaw country kind of rap, like hip-hop, but country music.
Yeah.
And there's a big part of that too in country.
Pastor Troy. Yeah, they're right. Tim McGraw and Nelly had Over and Over Again. That
Tim
was the
McGraw
other
and
song.
Nelly had that.
Not
Thank you,
Billy
Texas.
Ray.
The Old Town Road, Lil Nas X. Yeah.
Yep.
So there are people out there that want to fuse the two together. Who knows? It may work out.
It may work out.
And then there's also the Accidental Racist song with LL Cool J and Brad Paisley. Also country hip hop fusion.
Yep.
So bad.
Yes. So bad. Oh yeah. And,
what was the song that I went to listen to that y'all told me to? God, it was one of those rap country songs.
It might have been that one, Accidental Racism.
That is it.
Yeah, that was Brad Paisley.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I know it.
Yeah.
Oh, trust me. Oh, yeah, someone said Nelly started with Cruise with Florida Georgia Line. Is that what it is?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so this is a thing. It's just not our thing, but it's a thing.
Yep.
Okay, real quick, let's talk about a thing that we hope becomes a real thing, and that would be Shohei to the Rangers. We've discussed it a couple of times, and we thought, hey, man, just good radio conversation, but what if it's being talked about on a national level? Here's Buster Only.
Ohtani is traded before the deadline. What teams would be most likely to go after him?
Well, you start with the Yankees, the Rangers, the Rays, maybe a small handful of teams, but there's no doubt. You talked with sources yesterday, they see the Yankees as potentially being the most motivated because Garrett Cole, Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, they're middle-aged players right in the prime of their careers. This is the Yankees' window to win now. You bring in Ohtani. Suddenly the Yankees rotation with him involved looks so strong. Ohtani hitting in Yankee Stadium, which favors left-handed sluggers. That's something I'm sure the Yankees would be willing to pay for if Ohtani is made available by the Angels.
It wasn't a lot of Rangers talk, but he did say among those three teams, Yankees, Rays, and Rangers.
Yeah, because Yankees click the button a little bit better.
That's true.
You
And
know
the
what I'm
Cowboys.
saying? You talk Yankees, you're like, oh my gosh, they're going to the evil empire.
That's true.
I can't believe he's doing that. He can't do that.
But the evil empire is also in the discussion to get any player they want.
Every time.
Yeah.
Anybody that comes available, they're like, yeah, we don't care about no salary cap. We going right after them. These are our guys. But for me, when I look at the Texas Rangers and what they have to offer, and most importantly, they are going to be missing Jacob deGrom. Mm-hmm. Jacob deGrom is out, and we talked about them. They were limping down the stretch. They were trying to find it, but they weren't able to find it. So now you're sitting there and saying, what do we need to get us over the hump? And Patrick brought up a very good point. If you're going to go after him, you go after him now. You go get him now. If you're going to make that decision, don't wait till the trade deadline. You go and let everybody know this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're going after it. And if you're going to wait for the trade deadline, then unless you are going to wait until the trade deadline and you know that you're going to be able to sign him.
That's true.
That's the other part of this. And another team to pay attention to, and I said this in the very beginning, the Atlanta Braves.
Said that weeks ago.
Atlanta Braves, they got a lot that is happening. The one question would be, because I saw the odds, Shohei Ohtani is obviously predicted to be the AL MVP. Ronald Acuna Jr. right now is predicted to be the NL MVP. Put them both on the same team. Come on now.
It's unfair.
Come on.
Yeah.
In that lineup, there won't be any holes. There won't be any holes in the lineup if you bring Shohei in there.
Yeah, Texas says Ohtani to the Braves. Makes sense.
Yep.
That would be a scary proposition, but that would be cool. At least the Rangers would be good for us, I guess.
That's the question is, what's the price for a rental? Because I don't think the Braves are a long-term destination for Ohtani.
Oh, they don't want to sign him to a long-term
Well,
deal?
most of their players that they have, they don't have them under huge contracts.
Okay.
They do player-friendly contracts. Team-friendly contracts.
Yeah, and plus, Ohtani has said more, like people believe he's going to stay West Coast. So the Yankees are trying to change that, but a lot of people believe that he's going to try and stay West Coast.
Okay. Well, yeah, the market I think will be important for Major League Baseball overall, what market he goes to. I think him in a big market would just be great for the game. And they don't market him well enough anyway. You just said he's going to be pitching, tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night. Nobody knows. They don't even have it on the national
It's going to be a
stage.
national game, and he's the biggest story in sports right now.
And to Patrick's point earlier, what else do you have to show?
I know. Like, move something around. There's definitely something you could do contractually in those contracts you have with those broadcast networks and say, hey, man, we want to put Shohei on.
We have to put him on.
At least the biggest platform we can put him on.
And they're playing the Astros.
Go Astros.
Yeah. Like, how do you not have that on national TV?
I don't know.
And why is it not the Sunday night game of the week?
Exactly. Whatever it is, just put it on national TV because people want to watch Shohei.
Yep.
Okay, real quick, Porter Brown coming back?
Porter Brown is back, and that means that Texas Longhorn baseball has done an unbelievable job, not only with some of the players that are coming back. We talked about Tanner Witt. We talked about LeBaron Johnson. But now you add a Porter Brown back to that offense and some of that youth that you might have that you're trying to figure out who's going to do what.
Yep.
This is a big gift for the Texas Longhorns for him to come back.
All right, we'll come back. We'll wrap it up, put it in Evan, let you know what's on tap right here on Ball Don't Lie, 104.9 The Horn. Hey, what's up, folks? Lifetime Longhorn Rod Babers here. Let me tell you about our friends at Apple Leasing, because you need friends like our friends at Apple Leasing. We know getting a new car can be really stressful. It can be a headache. It can be time-consuming. Going to different car lots, doing all the price shopping yourself. Who has time for that? Trying to find the perfect car for you and your family and your lifestyle, and trying to find the perfect payment plan and the perfect price, and maybe to find the right lease for you and your situation. All those things can be really stressful, and what Apple Leasing will do is take the stress out of that process for you. They'll do all the hard work. They'll do the legwork. They'll do the price shopping for you. They'll find the perfect car for you and your budget for the perfect price. That's what they're all about. And somebody who knows that all too well is my man, Mike Hart.
That's right. I've done it so many times. I'm family over there. I call them and I'll say, hey, man, I'm looking for this type of car, and I needed to get it, and I needed to get it soon, especially because I'm a car guy. I like to drive cars, but I needed an SUV, and I said, I need you to pick one out for me. This is what I'm looking for. This is the type of payment. And they were like, here you go. Here's your easy lease. And it was so simple. You can tell them what you want, any make, any model. You can even go into that showroom floor that they have, and you can see some of the nice, expensive cars that you may think, I can afford that. Or you can say, man, I wish I could afford that. No matter what you do, go over and check out the people over at Apple Leasing. Or you can give them a call, 512-346-9977, and they will make the process easy for you. I know today's day, everybody's busy. You're one part of town, can't get to the other part of town. And it's like, I need you to come in and sign the paperwork. Don't worry about that. They can get it to you, and you can do DocuSign. It's an easy process, and they try to make it easy for you. As we said, go to appleleasing.com or give them a call, 512-346-9977. It's hot outside. You probably got a car that you're trying to figure out, can I get it? Can I afford it? Yes, you can. Give them a call, 512-346-9977, or go to appleleasing.com.
All right, welcome back to Ball Don't Lie. We'll be getting ready to wrap it up and put it in the oven. Before we do, we'll let you know what's on tap. If you missed any part of any of the shows, please go to hornfm.com. You can catch up with them on the podcast page or go to the YouTube channel. And you can see all those interviews from Big 12 Media Days at the Horn, Austin. All right, Harts, what's on tap for you, brother?
I'm going to watch this new Netflix show, Quarterback.
I know I've heard about this.
I was going to watch it last night, but there was so much that was going on, all the games and everything. So, Patrick, because of the fact that they are not showing Shohei Ohtani in baseball and on, I'm going to watch Quarterback tonight.
Okay. Patrick, what's on tap for you, brother?
Instant Serious tonight at 8.
Yes.
So we'll be doing that and then watching more Summer League. Also note, Sergio Bayer Rice will play on Friday for the Spurs. Makes his debut in the Spurs jersey in the game on Friday.
Nice. And they're not playing those games on ESPN anymore. You got to get that.
No, I think they are. I think
really?
they're still playing them on some of the channels.
Nice. You might be able to catch it. All right. Tonight, watching a show on Apple that's actually not bad. It's called Hijack. It's it's not bad. So go check it out for yourself.
Isn't that new Samuel L. Jackson show out yet?
Oh, I'm talking about Disney Plus?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard about it. I've heard good things, actually. I need to dig into that. All right, remember, the Revolution not be televised right here on Ball Don't Lie. We love you guys. We mean that. Take care of yourselves. More importantly, take care of each other. Peace. Yes,